Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Toneshift, as always. And with me today, we have our full cast of players. We have Tom117Z playing Rosa Solwyn, our female Elvon Mithra Watcher.
I am now God and mortal simultaneously in two different realities. I'm confused, help.
What? We have Mystic playing Aeon, our male Moogle Time Mage.
I saw a doctor and saw nothing. Waves is all I heard.
The Ocean. We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Cassandra, our female human dragoon. I still have no idea why I do that with an accent, but I do. Leave me alone.
She's fancy.
My aunt got launched into the ceiling by my little brother. I don't know how to feel about this.
Hades, could you bump up your mic sensitivity just a little bit? You're sounding a touch quiet. Either that or just speak closer to it, whichever.
One friend says I'm too loud, now one friend says I'm too soft. How's this?
And this friend
That
says
sounds
you're
better.
just right.
That sounds better, all right. We have Darkness playing Kunara, our female Lupin warrior. Ow, I just hit myself with a mouse.
Oh dear. Hey everyone.
And last but certainly not least, we have Ari playing Kayana, our female Tarufel engineer.
Hi.
All right,
For the
so...
record, I was referring to being a DM and a player at the same time. Because I am now off-screen torturing this motherfucker over here, Panara. So.
Yes, there is another campaign that Tom is now running that I don't think is getting uploaded to YouTube.
I have no plans to do so, but I have recorded it for posterity and for your perusal for lore reasons.
Indeed. I have not listened to it yet though, because time is a thing, and D&D games are long.
Is they
Right out in here.
especially when people turn the stealth escape into a very long combat encounter because explosions.
Explosion! Anyway,
But explosions are fun, Tom.
they are. They also were not part of the plan, if I'm understanding things correctly.
They weren't part
Yeah,
of my plan. I don't think they were part of the rest of the body's plan either. They were definitely part of Terry's plan, though.
Did somebody just get explosions?
Terry the Ruthless strikes again.
I just think all Dark Knights are dunces, Santos.
At any rate,
We could
so...
pick this lock, or we could blow the door off. Never mind.
Okay.
Just do what I did and melt the lock.
Oh,
Technically, he did, and everything else.
he did, but it also went boom at the same time.
Turn the god to ash. Glorious.
Okay, I need to turn off notifications from Messenger because I do not want to know what the fuck my family is talking about in there right now. All I know is I see, like, an inflated rubber glove that my brother sent. I'm concerned. I'll deal with it later. For now, though, let's get into our
Yes.
recap of where we left off last time, shall we?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, where last we left off. After a lengthy journey and a few pit stops and plenty of drama, the Freebirds had finally arrived in the Academy City of Anomo, high up in the Mages Mountains in the northern reaches of the nation of Lapinia. There they sought out the Arch Black Mage, Panara Blackstorm, to whom Rosa Solwyn has some familial ties, in the hopes that this age-old mage might be able to shed some light on various mysteries that the group is facing. From Rosa wanting answers about what happened to her parents and why she was left with the family she was left with, to Panara wanting to dive into the mysteries of the strange dreams she has routinely been receiving, to everyone else just kind of wanting to prod at the mysterious shadow that Rosa spotted lurking behind Aeon during their last major conflict. As matters stand, they had to sit through a fairly lengthy but very informative lecture on the history and current state of the continent of Zilart, far to the west, before then getting their chance to speak with Panara and also Saraphina Shadowgrasp, a relative of Cassandra's. Over the course of that day of discussion, many revelations were had. Rosa learned the truth of what happened to her parents, and at least the bulk of why she was left with the parents she was left with, Kunara was advised to meditate on the dreams and the common themes within them in the hopes that maybe she'll be able to reach out to them herself and discern where they might be coming from, for these are clearly no ordinary dreams, but something sent to her from afar. It was discovered after a brief medical examination by a resident watcher and Rosa's old teacher, Vise, that Aeon is subject to some manner of arcane barrier within the confines of his soul, barring any kind of deeper examination into this shadow, whatever it may be, but that it does seem to be growing weaker with the passage of time. And finally, Panara and Vise wound up teaming up more or less and started preparations to go after Forgal, who apparently was not someone they thought was still alive. They believed he was dead, and now they mean to finish the job. Leaving the Freebirds, told to stay out of that particular conflict, to go about their own business.
Because I'm sure that'll go well, as you are known for killing off major antagonists off screen.
Well, regardless, it is upon that note that we shall enter the game. Doop. So, the Academy City is yours, ladies and gentlemen. I believe where last we left off, Rosa had been sailing off with Kunara and I believe Kyanna to get herself a new outfit.
Gotta give Kyanna new things to draw in her book. New designs and experiments. It's the one thing that Rosa can appreciate, it's the process of experiments and hypothesizing shit.
Indeed. So, yes, the day is yours. Proceed.
In terms of the roll, didn't we already roll at the end of the last session as well?
Yes, for the crafting of the new outfits, yes, we already rolled, we already spent the gil, we already determined the properties, so.
No, it was the same day. Rosa is just working on that with them.
Alright.
You can, that's pretty much, well, humming a happy little tune and just looking forward to make something new.
Alright. Well then, if there is no immediate, specific things you all want to do while working through that, then I suppose it's time to start moving through days, isn't it? Because it's going to take a couple days to get all those things made up.
During which Rosa is having lessons with Vise, if I recall, regarding peering into souls.
Yep, so we'll say on the start of the next day, as you're going through the process of continuing to, make the outfit, get it tailored and prepared, you've managed to, get access to a small little workshop, courtesy of Kunara throwing around some suggestions and requests and whatnot, just seeming to know how to get access to these crafting stations. And as you're working away, watching everyone sort of doing their thing, the door pops open and in walks Vise.
Hi.
Rosa.
Hi. Morning. Afternoon. What time is it?
It is morning.
Oh, good. I've been up all night. Hi.
I can tell you have bags under your eyes. What did I tell you about keeping yourself rested, Rosa?
I don't know.
Rosa. Well, regardless, plans have been put in motion for Panara and I's departure. It'll take a couple of days for everything to be in place, though. And that means I only have so much time to give you instruction.
I'll take any time I can get.
Would now be sufficient?
Kyanna, you got this?
Sure.
Very well. Then let us set about it. So, Vise will guide you back into the Central University and back to that sort of glade she had made around the monument where Anima had once stood long ago. She'll sit you down on one side of the monument and then sit across from you. Now, you understand the basics of reading and drawing maladies from one individual into yourself, such as the way of green magic. But if you can understand how to pause the process mid-step, it can be used potently for diagnosis without transference.
So I could feel the coffee but not absorb it into my being and get hyped up on it.
More or less, you could recognize that someone is suffering the effects of this coffee without having to draw its effects onto yourself. That said, there are limits to what this can do. You can peer in, but the individual has to be willing to let you. And there are some things that might simply slip your notice. It doesn't tell you everything, it simply lets you look. You have to know what you're looking for. And given
like that, like with Allison, the soul parasite, wasn't there like a little sliver that got, shaven off and stuck with him? And
You remember well.
I've read that thing like a gazillion times.
I remember. It is much the same as that, yes. Albeit at the time, the exact specifics of the technique had not been fully nailed down. The Koalite Scourge, while contained and no longer spreading, was still a very real danger, and in case it became contagious again, the means for the sages to contain it within themselves still took priority. Simple diagnosis accounted for naught if there was no treatment. But after Hades' defeat, there were refinements made to the broader practice without the experimentations of individual watchers in their line of work. Much as what I devised to help Alistair with Elizabeth. The technique has undergone some revisions since then, a bit less intrusive. Let's walk through it, shall we?
I'm always ready to learn.
Alright. So, I would like for you to make for me a finesse check, as over the next several hours you are receiving instruction from Vise.
Okie dokie, give me my dice. Yo, not right. An 8.
8.
Dog shit roll.
It's definitely trickier than you were anticipating to sort of modify the technique you've been so used to sort of just knowing how to do on the fly, to only stop halfway through. It's kind of like if you're in the process of like lifting really heavy weights and your muscles are about to give out, and you have either the option of continuing to push on or stopping and holding halfway there. And this technique is asking you to stop and hold halfway. And for where you're currently standing, it just causes your focus to crumple and collapse because it doesn't feel right. So over the next several hours, while you understand the principle of it, you have not yet successfully pulled it off.
Oh, I think I got it. I done got it.
It can be tricky, I confess, to pull it off. Alistair was lucky when he learned to do this because, well, he didn't have the full foundational understanding of green magic that you have. As such, he didn't have the paralysis of stopping a technique halfway. As far as he was concerned, that was just how it worked. You're having to go against
more knowledge
reflex.
means it's even harder to do it the first time. That's what?
It's a strange thing. Green magic has not evolved in the most convenient or economical of fashions, unfortunately. Its history is a convoluted one, and its development was always based on circumstance and necessity rather than passionate innovation.
Well, my circumstance and necessity says that I need to learn this and stop messing up.
Well, for now, you need to take some time and relax. If If you get yourself worked up, the magic won't flow properly. Green magic operates off of serenity and calm of mind, not, well, whatever this is.
This is scholarly aggravation.
And scholarly aggravation in this scenario will slow you down. Take some time, have some lunch, come back when you're ready. I'll still be here.
I'm gonna find some milk.
Go find some milk. Alright, and Rosa goes off to go find some milk.
Like in the emoji.
Exactly.
Go find a milk box. Thank you, milkman. Anyway. Alright, so. Anything else anyone else wishes to do on this day?
Maybe Kai can. Well, mostly Kai just drawing on her book or something, because she hasn't felt inspiration yet.
Alright, so just random doodling.
Yeah, random doodling.
Alright.
Or writing, or whatever she can do.
Okay. We'll just assume doodling and idle sketching for now.
Yeah.
What about Cassandra and Aeon? Anything you two wish to do?
Not that I can think of. Huh?
I was gonna have Aeon just kind of like going back to his happy demeanor now that because he's trying to think like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm fine, and world is peachy and keen.
I know what we can do.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what are you gonna do to me?
We're playing Cassandra and Aeon are playing tag. Only one rule.
Okay.
None can touch the ground.
Oh.
Doesn't that... So is that harder for Cassandra? Because I float.
It means Cassandra has to use jump a lot.
Oh, true.
More, I meant like ground. Like Cassandra can only use the rooftops.
Okay.
This is where Aeon needs a gravity spell.
I have sprint. That's one of the ones I got.
But how does a Moogle sprint? You don't run.
No, but you can get faster.
Just literally.
Yeah.
Just literally Kai just like watching them and she's just like.
Cassandra's just jumping from rooftop to rooftop, chasing this Moogle around.
Okay.
Oh,
Can't catch me. Can't catch me.
All right. Opposed athletics checks.
Oh my god.
All you see is Kai with a cup of coffee, just like, I'm too old for this shit.
I mean, Kai's in the workshop with Kunara, so you're oblivious to this
I
happening.
mean, she has to have breaks sometimes.
Athletics check.
I have 3.
No,
Mouse
actually,
check.
I've got the image in my head now. Just Kayana in the workshop working on the outfit, just coffee in hand, looks out the window, sees them just go bounding across, goes,
9.
nah. Just,
I'm drinking too much
Actual.
coffee.
So here's a question: with us jumping around on the rooftops all the time, is that gonna get us in trouble, or does anybody give a shit?
You're bouncing. I'm floating.
We'll get
Also,
to that. For
We're
now,
the same.
you got
You
the
need to
same
roll.
roll, so I need you two to roll again.
We got the same roll?
Yep,
Yep.
9s.
9.
Like,
All the 9s. 8. What is with the dice today?
9.
hang on. All
I
right.
win.
All right, so.
This little Moogle, come here!
So, over the next, we'll say over the same period of time that Rosa is getting lessons from Vis, Aeon and Cassandra, to keep your reflexes sharp and just have a little bit of fun, you start going through the motions of the floor is lava tag. A little game you devised when both of you were really little just to help keep Cassandra's dragoons reflexes sharp and Aeon on his toes, or wingtips as the case may be. And, well, it's a close thing. And Cassandra, you are equal parts frustrated and very proud to find that Aeon has very much adapted to your tactics over the years and is able to, at the end of those few hours, eke out a win. Just barely, but eke out a win all the same. Gets like 2 points more than you. by the time you finally just get too tired to keep going and collapse onto a rooftop together. Also, Tiamat was keeping score.
I could see that. I could see the dragon holding like a board.
Yeah, he was just flying along, keeping tabs on both of you and keeping mental count.
Just the freaking dragon with the board.
A scoreboard. Oh.
Then
Oh,
there's
God.
I just like, I'm too old for this.
Yep. So yep, you two are panting your breaths out on a rooftop somewhere.
At some point during this, like, you just see Rosa just standing there watching it, just in both hands holding a little cut on the milk, just sucking on the straw.
I steal it.
Wait, she's ex Kai, right?
Hey, maybe she just kind of came outside watching it.
Is she finding amusement out of just seeing like them bouncing around on the
She
roof?
just looks content with her milk.
Looks content.
Let me guess, tail swing.
Of course.
Swishes.
Swishes.
Swishtail.
So her nickname is Swishes.
Cassandra is just literally just on her back, just panting, and then Aeon's just sitting on top of her head.
Did I win?
I'm guessing that's Tatir.
Well, what?
Did I win?
Yeah, you won. Just barely, but you won.
Sandra, you're getting better.
Getting better.
Just fist bump.
Why does it feel like every time we play this, you get slippier and slippier?
Maybe I'm getting faster.
Yay, go, Aeon! Oh, I spilt my milk.
No crying over spilt milk, Rosa.
But it was so soft and refreshing.
So soft.
Where's the, I forget, where's Kai again?
I think you were with Kunara working on.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in the workshop with Panara.
Like you were seeing this out a window, just drinking a coffee.
So I ask again: does us jumping around on the rooftops bother anybody, or?
You get a few looks as you're going about it, and at one point the game is briefly paused as a guard comes to ask what the hell you guys are doing, but upon hearing your explanation, he winds up just like, alright, just try not to cause any damage. If you do, I'm breaking this up like that. And try to keep the noise to a minimum. We do have people studying in some of these buildings, so try to keep it to the lower portions where it's more civilian structures and not study buildings. So, you were briefly stopped, you had to reset your count because Tiamat was distracted and lost track, but otherwise it's fine.
There's other characters, like, this is the Academy City, where there's black mages and blue mages blowing shit up all the time, and they're worrying about us making noise?
They probably have soundproof rooms, to be
Well,
fair.
that, and also they don't want, like, the people making those explosions to be distracted when they're making those explosions.
Yeah, not students,
Yeah.
you filthy outsiders.
I mean,
Oh.
honey, when they
You're not
expect like
student either.
explosion, the explosions are like set probably in a certain area, and then people are expecting it. Also, I don't think it's like common to all of a sudden you're eating lunch or reading a book, and all of a sudden you just hear a bang on top of the ceiling. And you just go, "What the heck?"
You look out the window and then you see a girl in purple armor change to a Moogle across the rooftops. Yelling,
I don't think it's common.
Yeah. Because Kanaris has probably glanced for a second and just shook her head and got back to...
Yeah, you can hear Kai with her coffee and mug, with the mug, just going like, I'm too old for this shit.
It'd be funny.
Sing to all your dumb kids.
You know what? Okay, I know, like, the barrier keeps, like, the cold out, but is there snow on the rooftops, or, like...
Nope. No snow.
No.
Damn.
Just pretty blue tiles.
Damn.
I'm currently in the process of writing a thing, so...
Oh,
Oh.
And you can hear Kai-
I know what you're writing, I think. Let me have a...
I'm not done yet.
Thing.
If I had to guess, I'm guessing. I'm about to get a text message.
Text message. Not a text message.
It's not a phone, it's a book.
I get messages through text. It's a text message.
Yeah, and also you can just hear Kai just talking to Kun mumbling, I am glad I'm not having kids right now.
Monday.
Maybe.
No,
This
it's
is
fun.
your-
Well, that is
An
quite...
IRL baby, but not me.
Yeah. No, his response to that would be, well, that was a complete random thing you just said. Then she got back to work.
Mojo just finishes off the little bit of the milk left that she didn't spill and puts it in the bin. That was nice. Hey, Ann, you did it. You won. You're awesome.
Oh,
You
here's a
saw,
little...
Rosa? You saw?
I did. I think everyone saw. You jumped very high, Cassandra.
I do.
You should-
That's what dragoons do.
You
Yeah.
should play with us next time.
I don't. You know, if God Grandpa Thanatos was here, he'd say I would just get stuck in trees, and he's probably right.
These
Aw,
aren't
but-
trees, it's a rooftop.
They are stone trees of heights, and I can't jump like you can.
Oh, it's easy. You just focus on the Moogle that you want to catch, and you don't even notice the death-defying jumps that you're doing.
I
Pretend
think-
I'm getting taken away.
Okay. Boops Aeon on the nose. I it just makes a squeak noise.
Or just pretend you stole your favorite book.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to make Aeon cry by grounding him, so no.
It's a no win-win situation.
Yeah, last time Mom tried to ground him, things happened.
I wonder what.
My instinct would say eject, but I don't think you had eject back then. That's more of a recent thing.
No. Let's just say
Take a shot.
Yeah, I'm always doing that in the ARC campaign. I
that.
noticed Lightning Flash does it a lot in your campaign.
You know the expression "drowning in tears"?
Oh no.
Hi, Timothy.
I?
No. No.
I'm a fire dragon. I don't drown people.
I said.
No.
Hello. Tail wagging. I have no idea what's going on. I was grooming. What?
Aeon's tears made tear meth.
It's okay, Cassandra. We know what you're gonna say, but ours is more funny. She said, just hugging her around the waist.
She hugs back, still pouting.
By the way, you look adorable pouting, Cassie.
That turns Rosa Noogie.
No! No! No!
Call
I refuse!
Cassie again.
Cassie!
Swishes.
Cassie! This probably goes on for a while.
Probably.
Yeah.
This just turns into a full. It just turns into a full-blown just wrestling match with them on, with just them on the
At
ground.
some point, Rosa summons Vines to start giving Cassandra a reverse noogie, but with Vines.
and Cassandra uses her fire breath to get rid of said vines.
Post finesse check.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why I could just see Kai trying to
Check.
break it up. Just like, hey!
This is gonna
Children!
result us getting kicked out of the city. Let's go. Oh fuck, why am I
Oh,
rolling
come
like
on.
shit?
Come on, we wouldn't get kicked out of the city for this.
You win, because I rolled a 7.
Hey, she's getting better with your vines.
Cassie Shadow Pout, everybody.
Shadow pals.
Actually,
God, I love you.
Thank
I
you.
probably should at some point get Aeon maybe armor.
You look cute in armor.
I honestly, I was looking over it. I'm like, I probably would need better defense at one point.
What's Aeon currently wearing in terms of armor? Like,
He's
what's
not
his-
wearing it. Technically, the armor I gave him was just thick Moogle fluff.
I
That's
mean,
all he
glad you
has is
brought
just
that
his
up.
fluff.
Moogles don't typically wear armor.
Or something. I mean, or if I'm gonna be stuck
Yeah,
with just
give Aeon a
fluff.
belated winter coat. Getting floofier.
Maybe like his armor could be like, say like a
You say
like a gemstone that just emits like a shield around him or something. Like I don't know if like again, do Moogles typically wear armor?
I mean, I've
Look at the
seen one
Moogle
wear a
fight in
helmet.
Final Fantasy. There was
Yeah.
like a few Moogles in the mob.
There was a warrior
King
that had
Magomon.
like little
yeah,
armor.
the helmet.
There's one with helmets, yeah. Okay, his armor is helmets.
I
Oh
mean,
my god.
Mystic, would you like Aeon to have like a slight design change of armor?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care if he looks different. I'm worried about defense. Keep going forward.
I mean,
'Cause
if you
am
don't want it-
squishy.
I don't know, good character moment. Well, Aeon, stop nuking. We'll continue later. Aeon needs advice. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm more just saying it out of character.
Oh, I'm taking it.
I
in
mean,
character.
as far
I will
As far
say
as
that if you want to
armor-
upgrade your armor without changing your appearance, like, I do allow that.
Mm-hmm.
It,
I mean, I
it
was
still
gonna-
requires the investiture of Gil, but
I was just gonna
Yeah.
have Rosa say after she escapes from the noogie. I mean, I could proud of that. I would need Panara and Kayana's help again, and Gil. Although I don't know if we have the Gil right now. We have like 150. But there could be like could hide like a little enchanted crystal within the floof that kind of emits a soft barrier, not like a full shield protect or reflect style, but something that would naturally like lower the impact of kinetic and magical blows.
I don't know. We can worry about it later. But thank you.
Oh, I have it. Oh,
yep, Rosa's book suddenly vibrates on her hip. You know, the tome
yeah, we
of
don't
communion.
really-
like
we can't
you
really-
see Rosa very briefly go, "Oh, I have a message." Oh, I have a message. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess
I'm
bye.
Okay. Can you give me a minute? I
Bye,
think this is
Rosa.
gonna be a heavy one because I said things and asked questions.
Said things.
Well, Grandma Panara said about how Grandma Nee tried to visit and they stopped her, and I asked them about that. Because they've been lying to me my whole life.
As
So,
long as you promise to tell us how your training was when you get back, Koopa.
I also promised to tell you what they said because no secrets, right?
No secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for more tag, Cassandra?
Round 2, and I'm gonna win this time.
All right.
Rose is just going to go off into a corner, just a quiet corner away from everything else somewhere, and begin reading. As
Alright.
I begin reading for real.
All right. And Aeon and Cassandra, you're going again?
Yep.
All right. Another post athletics.
More athletics.
Let's see if you get it this time.
Catch the Moogle.
You're up. There you go. That's a good.
11.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, that was a scream. Whoa. I take it wasn't. Oh
I was
no.
gonna lose. I thought I was so prepared to lose. I was like, yeah, you're probably gonna have this one this time.
By
Hey,
a
not-
stroke of divine intervention is the only explanation you can come up with. Once again, Aeon is able to scrape out a win in this game as you're flitting all over the place, nimbly swerving and twirling off to one side, doing a barrel roll every time Cassandra comes diving in for reaching out to try and get a tag. And all the while, Tiamat is flying along, keeping tabs, cheering for both of you evenly, like being like a little noodly cheerleader for both teams at the same time. It's very cute. But eventually, after a while, You run out of air, you call it quits with, again, Aeon having like a 1-point lead as you come stumbling to a stop on a different rooftop.
What again, Google?
That was great, you guys. Damn, Aeon, you're getting really good at that.
I learned best from Sandra.
I guess.
I need new lungs.
Getting old, Sandra?
Excuse you.
You are the older sibling.
I am still in my 20s and in my prime. Thank you very much.
Some children would think that's old.
Tia, I'm not old, am I?
He's just wagging his tail. He doesn't say anything, though. He's just wagging his tail.
Aeon just gives her a hug.
I know you're not old, Sandra. I'm just playing.
I know. She hugs him too. It's just... You know, after all the crap the last few days, this is nice.
I have an idea.
What's that?
Next time, we should see if you can catch Tyr. Get him training.
Kind of very slowly looks over at Tyr with a grin.
Oh, boy.
I say all that meat you've been eating is starting to weigh you down.
I mean, hey, at least I'm not the one pounding pounds of sugar, alright?
Hey, I'm still faster than Sandra. So what do you have to worry about, Koopa?
Well, I mean, if we were to do it right now, I would absolutely win, because Cassandra is blasted.
Well, yeah, duh.
Tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, we can try.
Tomorrow, I live up to the Dragoon's name.
And I'll live up to the dragon's name.
Aeon just like whispers to Cassandra.
Don't worry, I'll give you sprint before you start your match.
I heard that! No cheating! Invalidates the whole
Hey.
point!
I thought you were a dragon, not a dog. When do you have such good hearing?
I'm a dragon!
Yes, but you were
I'm
wagging your tail before, Koopa, and now you can hear us. Maybe he's part dog, Sandra.
He kind of like
I
stomps
mean-
a paw a few times.
I mean, I don't know, but Optier didn't give me any details.
Well, his pride is showing.
Duffner didn't bring a dog. Kind of scratches at his chin and then flies off.
He's a boy sport.
Eh, we're working on him.
Oh, she. And you just see him diving down.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go find candy. He just flies off.
It's just Cassandra just looks back and it's like, Tyr, eat the sheep!
That poor sheep.
You go jumping after Tyr, I take it?
Uh-huh.
All right, you find yourself in what
Note.
appears as you kind of come to a landing on the roof of what appears to be a beast keeper like enclosure. The building is like an L shape, 3 stories tall, and in like the sort of inner crook of that L shape, there's this fenced-in yard with a bunch of different animals, mostly sheep, and you see on one of them. And you see Tyr just kind of like slinking amongst them, sniffing, like, no, that one's too small. That one's too big. Come on. Not enough fluff. Too fluffy. And after a bit of slithering around, he comes to a stop, stares up at one sheep in particular that's looking right down at him, and he's like, yep, that's the perfect one. He like
I know
coils
where
like a
this is going.
spring. And then he leaps.
Can I leap to try to catch him?
Make an athletics check.
Oh my god.
What does it say in my head? Does it say about me? I thought this in my head. No, Tyr, don't eat Sean. He done nothing to you.
No!
11.
Tyrmouth rolled a 12.
You're losing by 1 point each time.
Slippery dragon.
So, Tyrmouth, so you go jumping down like, Tyr, no! To try and stop him. You miss him by just an inch as you like land right where he was as he doing springs up. The sheep kind of recoils a bit as Tyrmouth kind of goes up into the air, wings give a quick couple flaps, and then he just daintily coils up on top of the sheep.
I knew it. You did
This
it.
is soft. I like this. And he just cuddles into
Now
the
he's sleeping.
He just cuddles into the wool.
Is
You did a
Cassandra,
comic dub.
did Cassandra land face first in the dirt?
No, but you're more like hands and knees. Because you were kind of like reaching out to grab him and you overshot, so you're like hands and knees. And as Tiamat is like coiling up into like a spool of rope, he briefly looks over. Cassandra, what are you doing over there?
She slowly gets up and glares at him.
What?
And proceeds to grab him.
Hey, I'm trying to take a nap! The sheep bleats and wanders off.
And she brings him up to eye level. Tyr, what are you?
I'm a dragon.
Do you know what dragons are known for eating?
Meat?
Particularly sheep. So sheep
This is the first time I've heard of that.
sheep. Okay, Tyr, let me explain it to you slowly. Dragon, scary, predator. Sheep, herd animal. Herd animal see predator. What does herd animal do?
Tiamat kind of looks around at the sheep, just kind of mindlessly milling about you, completely ignoring you. Go about their day?
You're lucky you're small.
He grins.
Drag him by the tail. Drag him by the tail.
I mean, at this point, I think she's probably just holding him she's probably just holding him right under where the head would meet the neck. And
I figured you were holding him by like the armpits.
or like holding him by something, like a snake, and then just like, what am I gonna do with you?
Let me go so I can go take my nap.
Nope.
Nope, and just walks away while carrying him.
It's soft. It's so fluffy. It's just like thrashing and wiggling in your hands. No.
You put him in the floof. I'm sure that's nice and soft.
You were Charlotte?
I don't think Aeon would appreciate that.
And he's just pouting and complaining.
Where Charlotte is?
Last thing we need is the owner coming out here and seeing a dragon sleeping amongst his sheep.
He puffs out some smoke.
I figured you was gonna do
Do you want a repeat of the pig incident?
That was different. That was Aeon trying to feed me to one. He
Yeah.
dropped me in the slop. And pigs will eat just about anything. Sheep, you don't have to worry about that, I think.
Red Dead Redemption reference.
I don't know. I haven't played that game in so fucking long, and I never played the second one.
That day with the pigs that
the
happened
second
and that
one's a
failed.
masterpiece.
Aeon was just like,
I'm not
"I
too
gotta
big on the
think
online.
Gotta think bigger.
bigger." Hippos.
It just eventually just Cassandra just just walking with him and just eventually just slinging him over her shoulders and just letting him rest there.
Oh, he's playing dead at this point.
He's playing dead. It's like
Just tongue lolling out.
Why is Tyr dead? What did I miss?
Tears gone.
she kind of So she brings him up to eye level, and he's just playing dead.
Rosa just starts casting cure on him.
Oh.
No, stop! Aeon stops Rosa.
You cannot stop the healing magic of
No!
nature.
Pull her ears.
Well, and she kind of looks like, well,
Probably getting more hair than anything.
it is with a sad heart that we bid farewell to Tiamat. Okay, Aeon, go find a pen and pig.
Okay! Tries to grab Tyr.
And he just starts wriggling. No! No! No!
And thus I bring it life.
See? It's a miracle.
He just growls at
Aw,
Aeon.
Cassandra, you lied.
I didn't lie.
You said he was dead.
I brought him back to life. I am a miracle giver. You're welcome.
How could you?
Oh, Kanar.
Can't
You
breathe.
love your brother really, Aeon. We all saw you back in Windurst. Or was it
I am
Dawnlord?
supportive of him, but if anything happens, I can't promise anything, Kupo.
Promises, pinches his cheek.
Meow.
It's Kanar and Cassandra.
Kanara is still
Diana,
making the
what you
outfit.
missed.
She's not here for this.
Yeah, but I
so-
mean, no. But are they seeing this from the window or are
Probably
they in a
not.
different angle?
Probably not. This is quite a distance away at this point, because, like, this happened because of a game of tag that went all over the fucking city.
Also, I will point out, in spite of her general cheer, you do notice that her eyes are a bit puffy.
Are you okay, Rosa?
Oh, I mean, yeah. No lies, right. Kinda. Yeah, my message from Mom.
I take it they weren't too happy with what you said.
Just look. I'm gonna pass Cassandra the book so she can read all the messages.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
okay. Can I read that, or do I have access to that, or?
It's a private text channel that only Tom and I have access to.
Oh, if you want, you can just read out the last message, and I'll read out.
Okay, then yeah, just
So yeah, so maybe just give a brief summary or something.
yeah, as a
All right.
almighty DM, will you read to us?
Let's read out the last. Let's read out the last two entries.
All right. So, last two entries. Shouted till 19th, 100. Scratched out, the first line starts with, Rosa, that's not... And then it continues from there. We never told you because we were afraid of how you would take it. We didn't want to tell you when you were a little child because we were afraid that you were too young to know. And when you started to gush and swoon over those old stories about the Warriors of Light, we didn't want to break your spirits. There was already so much tension between us, we didn't want to make things worse. As for stopping me from visiting, you have to understand. You fawned over her so much just from those stories. We didn't want you to be so enamored that you'd follow after her or be inspired to go off like your birth parents did and get yourself killed. And we didn't tell you when you were leaving because... I guess we were hoping you'd realize how scary it was and come home quickly and we'd just leave it all in the past. We were wrong, and I'm sorry for that. I know all of this has been hurtful for you. I'm so sorry. You're right, we were just trying to take care of you. I guess we just didn't do it quite right. Mom.
Then Rose's entry is, I know you were trying, but if I've learned anything from Aeon these past days, excluding kids from everything only takes you so far. I can't pretend to know what it was like for you guys with everything. I wonder what was said between you and Grandma Nee, what caused this. And I don't run away. When you start something, you don't turn away until it's done. You did teach me that much. For my studies, maybe, but it still applies. I'm not stopping. Not running. Please don't be sad. Yes, I'm hurt. I don't agree with everything that happened between us, but you are my parents. You did your best, you loved me, helped me when I was sick. Remember that One winter, when I got the flu so bad, you both basically stayed and slept at my bedside for a whole week, even foregoing profits from the library just so I'd feel safe. When I come home, I want to show you a me that's fully into our own. I hope you can be proud of that me. And when we meet, we'll talk, hug, and probably cry. I'm still hurt, but I'll never forget that winter. Or the rest of it. I love you, Rosa.
Those are the two most recent entries.
Well then. That's rough.
Kind of hurts a bit more knowing that they essentially wanted me to fail and run away a few days in. And, you know, they hid things.
You know, still knowing why, I still don't understand.
I just kind of want to know what was said between them. But, I mean, Forgar killed my parents. My birth parents, that is. I guess
yet
maybe
they're-
they just thought the Athils were just like a magnet for bad stuff. Which, I mean, I'm not entirely wrong, but I feel like that was my choice, right? I'm not wrong in that?
It's still not fair. To me or you. I said, what about my family? I said, we've had our share of bad things.
Bad things?
Just basic point. Just bad things happen to a lot of people.
Cassandra,
Yeah.
Rosa trusted you, and she showed you the message. We promised no secrets.
You know, it's hard for me to talk about that.
Rosa is gonna take Cassandra's hand. It's okay. Help you too. Doesn't need to be all on you to help us.
You want to go somewhere private, maybe?
Maybe the workshop where Panara and Cayenne are working?
Yeah. If I'm gonna do this, can we have everyone here so I don't have to do it twice?
Okay. I think you'll need... What's that?
I was just gonna say, wasn't expecting this to happen this session, but all right.
Spontaneous
Well,
roleplay.
again, we keep saying Cassandra's shit is the only one that's not been revealed, and everybody else has been trusting, and trust is kind of the whole big thing right now. And
I said that was a big jump for Rosa to show you like that, like those messages. That is a big trust thing.
that is a big trust thing. And now it's Cassandra's turn.
I mean, we are a family at this point.
Yes.
Rosa hasn't. Rosa hasn't.
To
explicitly
the workshop.
Because Rosa hasn't explicitly shown any of those messages to anyone yet, has she? She's just talked about it.
Like, she read some of them off at one point.
But she's never actually downright let us read them.
All right, well. So, you sort of pull yourselves together and make your way to the workshop where Kunara and Cayenne are working on the new attire for Rosa. And for you two, it's mostly just been quiet working, just occasionally throwing ideas back and forth or asking for a certain tool or asking to double check the notes in Kayana's sketchbook to make sure your measurements are all correct and all that stuff. And it's going well. Time consuming, but going well. But as you're working, the door pops open and you look up and you see the rest of your group sort of coming in with this sort of air of, I guess, thin dread sort of following Cassandra, I guess is the right way of putting it. There's definitely a solemn pall that's fallen over things again.
Kanar notices this, but still carry on with her work. So, I take it you want to talk about something?
Yeah, just all of you have shared your past, and your grievances, and if I'm going to be the leader of this team, I guess I need to say it too, not only because you guys need a leader who's willing to admit her past mistakes. I just hope it doesn't change how you feel about me.
Kanar slowly puts down the tools and the clothing and has her full attention towards you.
Yeah, no,
Well.
that guy stopped as well.
So, I guess she just
Well.
finds it
Make yourselves comfortable.
Yeah, Cassandra just finds a crate to sit on, just be in the center, while the rest of you, I guess, just standing around her.
Aeon's gonna sit in your lap so you can hold him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tumith coils up sort of around and beside you.
As you're coming in, though, Kanar does put a hand on your shoulder. It's okay, Cassandra. This is the first step, becoming a leader. We're here for you.
Thanks. And everybody's assembled, and Cassandra just takes a deep breath and just starts. So, for those who don't know really much about Dragoons, I grew up in the city of Darlat, to the west. Same place that Alice here grew up back in the day. And Grandma Kyra, too. It was a while ago. I was among the top people of the Dragoons, chosen by Vidafnir to care for one of her children, descendant of a warrior of light. I worked my way near to the top, and I was responsible for lots of things. And then there was my dad. My father, his name was Valen. He was a paladin in service to the king. He was a really amazing guy, amazing dad. Everybody loved him. People called him a Boy Scout. But I couldn't have asked for a better father. And one day, me and Dad were taking part in a military exercise. I've had several others like it, just typical training mission. Wasn't really all that special at first. We found an old cave not far from Garlat. Used to be a mine. I mean, it was depleted and was deemed unstable after the Amber Tide, so nobody was allowed in there unless you had clearance like us. A voice came from the cave calling out for help. Again, me being the hothead that I am, I ran in there and Dad followed suit. I knew the cave was unstable, but there was someone in there and they needed help. So we went in. It was dark, but wasn't really that hard. And further we went in, something just didn't feel right. Dad said we should leave, but I couldn't leave whoever was in there. Then there was, I don't know what it was, the cave just started shaking. Rocks falling, and Dad was the first to realize there was a cave in. We all ran for the exit, and the ceiling gave way. When the dust cleared, I was battered, but I was fine. And I looked back, and I saw Dad, only his legs were under a rock. The cave was still collapsing. I tried to move it. I tried with all my strength to move it. It wouldn't budge, and more rocks just kept coming down, and he kept yelling at me to leave, and I couldn't. He just kept grabbed my hand and just said that it was okay. Mom needed me, Aeon and Tyr needed me, and the cave just kept coming down, and didn't want to, but I had to leave him. I looked back and just watched the rocks just coming down on him until I couldn't see him anymore. I barely got out of the cave before the whole thing just collapsed in on itself. Just broke down, just crying. Next thing I know, there's a battalion of paladins around me. I thought maybe they were there to help me get to him. Maybe there was a chance to save him, but that wasn't why they were there. They slapped shackles on my wrists, and they marched me back to Garlat. And I told them what happened, and they wouldn't listen. I got taken back to Garland and set before the lord of the city. During the trial, I kept telling them that somebody was in there, somebody was calling for help, and that's why we were in there. But everyone else that was with us on the exercise, they kept saying that they didn't hear anything. That I just ran in there recklessly. And then he stepped up to the stand. And he just kept insisting that it was my fault, it was my recklessness that got him killed. Because again, who would go against the captain of the city's watch? Nobody spoke out, nobody defended me, nothing. Just stood there while he dragged my family's name through the dirt. And that whole trial, the worst part of it all is knowing that the pain just hurts so much. Especially when that guy on the stand that's dragging your name through the mud, accusing you of killing your own father. It's your own uncle.
Small little puff of smoke comes out of Tyr's nostrils at that.
He's a shadow grasp?
No. He was my dad's brother. He never liked Mom, never liked me or Grandpa. He said we were tainted. And that Dad's relationship with Mom would taint their pure bloodline.
I don't know what to... Forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, but this is kind of my analytical mind. Coping, forgive me for saying that almost sounds like a setup.
After the trial, I kept thinking about that. I wouldn't put it past him.
Like this voice, you never found it no matter how deep you got?
No.
It was always like the same distance away, getting further away?
Yeah.
What kind of voice was it?
This is a woman's voice, just calling out, saying that she needed help and sounded so frantic and scared. Just... the only reason I wasn't... when the Lord finished hearing everything, the only reason I wasn't executed on the spot for the death of the king's favorite paladin was two things. She points down to Tyr. Tyr? and Vidofnir. Surely a dragoon chosen by the Dragon of Garland couldn't be executed.
There'd be an uproar if they tried. From your brothers and sisters in arms, most especially.
So, without even really given much time to defend ourselves, because again, who would speak against the captain of the guard? The king banished us from Garlat. Me, Mom, Aeon, and Tyr made us pack up our stuff and leave.
Your mother too? How does she come into that?
Again, far as Riker's concerned, she's the cause of the whole problem.
Forgive me, but I find it incredibly strange that a legal system would bring in someone that wasn't even related to the crime because they weren't there and condemn them for it too. Just out of familiar relations. That's corrupt as... Yeah. That screams corruption and
That's-
the setup.
That explains Riker to a T. He made it his life mission to make Mom's and my life a living hell.
He's an honorless snake. I don't often wish harm on someone. But if I ever get my teeth on his neck, nothing will stop me from biting.
I certainly wouldn't.
Neither would I.
What's his full name? This Riker guy?
Give me one sec. I had a name. Did I have a last name? Just one sec.
It might be in the history.
Yeah, I'm looking at the history. I'm just trying to. Okay, no pop-ups, please. Stop. Antivirus. I don't give a shit.
I want to add a name to my death note, also known as Rosa's notes.
His full name isn't worth discussing.
I will point out that Kanara's turned up and couldn't help not to pat you on the back.
They all
Cassandra.
have family issues.
Yep.
I don't see a last name in the history, so I guess we just didn't give him one.
Well, didn't you give your father a last name? It
Yeah.
wasn't originally Shadowgrasp?
Well, they kept the name Shadowgrass after they got married because Riker couldn't have his family name associated with Talia.
Yeah. I guess,
So
it's kept the
I guess
maternal
I'll
family
probably-
name because of
I
this
guess we
weight.
can probably just think of one off the top of my head or something. I don't know.
You want?
Riker asshole.
I'd
then that would be proper
kind of been
well.
operating under the assumption that Riker was the last name, but
I mean, it doesn't really make any sense, but
however you want to swing it, it's your backstory.
let's. I'm just gonna pull one at the top of my head.
Thorn marrow.
There you go.
Thorn.
He's like a thorn in your side.
A thorn in your bone marrow.
How accurate.
That's
There you
not
go.
the better one.
Riker thorn marrow. Sounds appropriately dickish.
Wait.
But yeah, like I said earlier,
What is it with Final Fantasy recently and having family members betray other family members? God, everyone.
There you go.
yeah, I don't know if Cassandra noticed, but Kanara's here up and just calmly and heavily stroking you at the back.
Just so, yeah. Back to the
they-
explanation. So,
Did they ever ascertain like what caused the collapse?
nope.
Just seems way too convenient, with a voice, no one else heard it, but you and your dad never comes up again. It happened to collapse at the exact moment.
It was a
You-
setup.
Sounds like one to me. Be
There's
honest.
no other
Logic-
explanation for it.
Logically speaking, however you look at it, the facts just don't line up. In any courtroom that was not, in full kangaroo mode, paid off, would have seen that.
Unfortunately, when it comes to society and laws, sometimes there are those who can manipulate things behind the scenes, and they don't care who it will harm, as long as they get their own way. The world can be
And-
cruel like that.
Again, the Lord. My dad was his favorite, and then when you hear he's dead, and the daughter was the only witness, and you have your captain of the guard speaking the whole quote unquote truth.
Captain of a guard with an otherwise pristine record, I might add.
Oh yeah.
An absolute asshole, but credit where it's due. Until all this, he could at least be considered good at his job.
And those
Wow.
are high up in the
You say that,
rankings.
but if for his own position or whatever he betrayed his own family, imagine what else he might have done to get where he was in the first place.
He sounds like a master of deception to me. And he definitely has not earned his place.
Surprised me someone like that threw a lot of people under the bus to get through his career.
Wouldn't put
If
it
they're
past
cunning
him.
enough.
The truck of
They-
cart, rather.
Hmm.
Buses don't exist.
Yeah, and also Kai looks like she's kind of like has her looks like she's kind of praying in a way, but right now she's silent and closing her eyes.
Just so, yeah.
Where's
That's our story.
Where's your mother
we-
now?
When we were banished, we went back to our ancestral home in Viala, Thanatos' old home. We stayed there for a couple months so Mom could settle. The whole thing just really hit her hard.
Rose is going to come up
I can imagine.
gently sit down next to Cassandra and just rest her head on her shoulder, avoiding the spike. Well, to answer your earlier question and query, doesn't change a thing how we see you, I think.
The whole time when they were dragging me back to the city, it just went through my head, it's like, was it my fault?
You wanted to save someone. Only a really big asshole would set that up just to hurt someone else. Just like
His own brother. I don't even really know the whole tainted blood or whatever. It's like, is it really enough to hate your brother so much as to drop a cave on him?
some people just, I think, don't care who they hurt if it gets them what they want, whether it's throwing them in a cave, on a fire, or killing them when their own mother watches, leaving a child scream and grow up
Exactly what
not
I
knowing.
said.
We weren't even allowed to go to the funeral.
Where's he buried?
I imagine in the city somewhere.
Assuming they could get to his remains.
I still haven't
Probably
wondered.
just a headstone.
Would you want to visit it?
She's just like burying her head in her arms and just laughing. Right, Rosa, let's just go right up there and just knock on the door, say, hey, can I go and... I know I'm banished and all, can I go visit my dead dad's grave?
Have you met us? I think we're idiots.
If I step one foot even near the city, Riker will have my head.
Why would they have to know?
He's the captain of the guard. He pretty much has eyes and ears everywhere. He's probably the one that was spreading all the rumors about me.
He'll probably also have guards looking for us, even if we were to go there.
And I know he's sent word elsewhere. When we were in Marasu, Tam said that he'd heard things about me. He didn't believe them, but they're there.
Well, I don't like... One day we should go and be damned to stupid...
Sikana is tensed up, but also mumbling to herself, but you can make out that she's counting and taking deep breaths.
As much as I would like to just go in there and break him apart, unless we can have some concrete evidence that all of that was set up, and if Cassandra's innocence, then we're not gonna get anywhere.
Have you ever... Suppose you never been back to the cave? Where... Was it close to Galat?
No. Again, I was dragged there, then we were dragged home, made to pack, and sent on our way.
The whole thing happened really quickly.
So you didn't have time to look.
We didn't
Probably on
even get a
purpose.
chance.
Exactly. That's why I'm convinced the whole thing was a setup and not just a freak accident. Riker was
Well-
trying to kill... If I were to guess, I'd figure he was just trying to kill Cassandra, but... Well, she got out, and so he had to improvise.
Where is the cave? There's not too much to ask.
Almighty DM.
If you're leaving that to my discretion, I would say it would probably be...
I mean, in the history, it just said not far from Garlad, so I'm assuming like somewhere in like this mountain range.
Yeah, I was
Windland
figuring
Crossing.
it. I was figuring in the foothills or early peaks of the Beauty's Edge Mountains, south of Wendland Crossroad.
So like maybe like rare.
I'll drop in a token to mark its location.
Well, we're heading that side of the world anyway. Maybe we should take a look.
Maybe.
Not supposed to be that big.
I was going to say, who dropped the white sun in the middle of Garleon?
God damn it! Let me just move the damn thing. Yeah.
Do you think there really would be anything there? What's to
It's
say
been-
he didn't get rid of stuff?
It's been months, Rosa. Any evidence is long gone.
I thought Forgall was dead and gone and he just turned up. You never know.
He does have a point.
Right.
Post Sick and tired of people hurting our families. Family.
I think I'm calm enough, and I figured what we think we should do, with everyone's consent, of course.
Hmm.
In my personal opinion, it is not right for Cassandra not to see the burial of one who is close to her. Which is why I would even make it my solemn duty to make sure she gets some closure, at least.
I mean,
And as for this undeserving male, I think we should deal with him when the time is appropriate and we do have something more on him.
if Cassandra was okay with going along with this and helping with this, I think the cave would be a good place to start, but why would...
I did say we need everyone's consent. That would be most important.
I mean, with everything with Vitae as well, where would we even hit first? Vitae or Galat? The cave.
I imagine knees on more of a clock than what I'm dealing with. So I'm guessing
Maybe she'll have some advice and stuff. She has a lot of pull. Also, she is the elf of stealth.
Well, we've been banished for this long. I doubt waiting is going to change much, Kupo.
Yeah,
Exactly.
again, maybe Nee can help. She's kind of good at sneaking into places she's not meant to be.
And think of it like this. As long as that man stays in his unrightful place, should I say, or even gets higher up in the food chain, as they say, think what more harm he could be doing to those who don't deserve it. He is a dishonorable prick that needs to be put in his place, one way or another.
His place is in the dirt.
Exactly.
And
6
there's a
feet
quote-
under.
There's a quote for that. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Oh, trust me, I'm definitely bigger and I can make him fall.
Maybe a place to start if there is any evidence inside that cave that shows it wasn't an accident, like, I don't know, explosives, remains of it, anything left behind.
maybe. I doubt he has guards placed there anymore.
Well, if he does, well,
You can say it can help you give you more closure.
I don't know.
And also everyone needs to know the truth. Even you knew the truth.
I mean, the truth is obvious to anyone who's not been paid off in some way, or just doesn't get to listen to the truth.
Take it from me. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, until it's too obvious to ignore if you get the right evidence.
And take it from me. Holding on to so much guilt and also unclosured stuff is not healthy.
Besides, besmirching the name of the Warriors of Light, Shadowgrasp, that's an issue that more people from beyond, outside of people, that's an issue that wouldn't just be for people in Galat. A lot of people would take exception.
At this point, Tiamat kind of unspools a little bit and props his paws up on your shoulder to be up closer to your face. And just so we're clear, Cassandra, no, it was not your fault. Not once, not ever, okay? You're the victim here.
Right?
Riker took
Jesus,
advantage of your good heart, and he made you hurt for it. But that's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're a good person. Do you hear me?
She just looks at Tyr and Aeon, just eyes just kind of unfocused.
They speak the truth. Plus, remember, the main reason why I would like you to be the leader of the Freebirds someday is not because you're a good, skillful fighter. It's because you do have a good heart.
Well, someday is today, because we're all growing.
She's definitely made a great start.
And your father would be very proud of you. What you are right now.
And no matter
And
what,
then
you'll-
that sentence that Kiana said right there is when the waterworks come.
Rosa.
And Cassandra slips in for a hug for both, I guess.
I guess
I feel like
Group
everybody
hug.
just did a group hug.
Group
Yeah.
hug,
Yeah.
Group
Rosa
hug.
just
Tiamat coils around you. Everyone's just coming in. You are surrounded in a cradle of affection and support from your found family.
Let it all out, Cassandra.
no matter what,
Okay.
your family believes you, and if anyone says otherwise, well, they can just be dragged by vines into a candy dimension and locked there forever.
You have a bullet in their freaking.
I don't care whether it's Riker, Forgol, character names, people thinking of. Whether it's Forgol, Riker, Lipsa, even rejected loves. Pippin.
When she stops crying, she just lifts her head up and looks to Rosa. I'm sorry.
For what?
When you were hurt and I wanted to just leave you behind, I just kept thinking about Dad, and I didn't want it to happen again. And when I yelled at you, saying you never knew what pain or loss was, I just kept thinking that just Dad losing someone else.
I'm not gonna lie, when of all the things that were said that night, that stung the most. I was also thinking of my dad and Mum, and I never really knew them, but I knew of them, and I always wondered and felt it, and just I was always different because of it, you know, and everything that's happened since, knowing Grandma Nee tried to have a relationship with me, to be around, and my parents, as much as I love them, kept it, and then everything else. It all hurts so bad, but I forgive you, and I'm sorry I bound you and shouted and nearly walked away. I don't... Everything hurts, and it hurts that you hurt. I don't like hurting.
She just pulls Rosa closer. Just, I don't like hurt either.
Tell the hurt to fuck off and just arrows and fire and
We'll feed him to Fluffy.
Fluffy is best girl. She will kick them and sit on them, and they will suffocate in the
Why did I
food.
imagine Fluffy just poking his head out?
Eh?
Fluffy's in the stables and just like imagine like just the sense of like, oh, they're talking about me.
Just for some reason, she goes, "Yeah, I would do that." Yeah.
Goes back to
Out
eating.
the open window. Oh my god. Just out an open window, all we hear is
Meh. Whee!
We're all in need of serious therapy.
There it is.
Yep, just get that obligatory y'all need therapy out of the way, because that's just become like every session saying that's our catchphrase.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the catchphrase of this entire D&D session. Y'all need therapy.
like Mighty Nine is Chaos Crew. Y'all need therapy.
We're the sad crew.
Yeah, we fucking.
Yeah, you see, the last crew was the silly crew that everybody just think, yeah, you guys are a riot. Because of all the bickering that we did. And this group, you're all just sad.
Y'all need therapy.
Yes.
We all seriously need therapy.
Well,
Lord.
Alright.
try not to beat yourselves up too much. It's like my mother always said, after all. Emotions can be a powerful thing, but they can also cloud the mind if you're not careful.
Oh, trust me, I'm not beating myself up. I know whose fault it is.
And it's not yours. It's yours as a good soul, and I can prove it. And Rose is going to put her hand on Cassandra's chest and is going to read her soul if she can.
Alright, finesse check.
Oh.
Gonna do that thing that you didn't quite figure out.
Oh, trying to be pointing
So,
and shit.
you just like straight up just put your hand on her chest plate. It's like,
As she does so, because it obviously also needs to be willing, she kind of looks at us. Allow me?
And yeah, just to point out though, she was on about when, Cassandra and Rosa had that fight moment.
Yeah.
She could see that the emotions got out of hand.
Does Rosa get permission?
what are you doing?
Proving that your soul is good.
You're not gonna rip it out of me, are you?
Only if you keep annoying me.
Wait, can Green just do that?
I'm gonna look at your soul now.
I don't think that was full consent.
It's
I mean,
dubious, it works.
it needs full consent. If Cassandra doesn't want it, it won't work. So
She's going to allow it, but it's still weird. Of course, you just think magic is just weird in general.
14.
14.
Just a-
You needed an
literally just a
11.
question mark.
Hey.
Hey!
Like, that was the roll you needed to make to, like, square the technique away in the first place. So,
It's just a question mark above freaking Cassandra's head.
it's like, what the fuck? What? Anyway, so, Rosa, you put your, you're allowed access and you sort of relax. You try to purge all of the turmoil in your head for the moment so that you can focus on letting the magic flow properly. And it's less a matter of tranquility and more a matter of focus, you suddenly find. Direction and purpose. When it was just the lessons, you were following instruction, but you had no, direct and immediate drive to do it right. Your thoughts were constantly wandering because you have all these little stresses eating at you all the time. Your strained relationship with your family, the revelation that Forgal is alive, the fact that Neothil is dying, and all these other little traumas were distracting you. But in this moment, you have only one thing to focus on, and it flows with ease. And Cassandra, you feel yourself ballooning out as if your skin is expanding, but somehow also becoming tighter against your frame. Not uncomfortably so, but noticeably so. And you just feel more stuffed a little bit. And Rosa, you get the mental image of a swirling purple mass of interconnected lights, tethered together by strings of coiling electricity bound in dragon scale. And every so often, there are these little wisps of crackling black just sort of darting around in little tiny slithers. Tame, patient, controlled, but very much so present.
It's covered in dragon scale.
Oh, again. Soul be covered in dragon lime. I guess that's a dragoon thing.
I think it's more metaphorical because the soul isn't a physical thing, but
Sandra has dragon scales?
you
And you
It
would
was-
know this, Rosa, as, you have received lessons in green magic from Vise. Like, when visualizing souls, they are very much abstractions and, metaphorical. So they're reflections of a person in a artistic sense more than a literal one.
I figure you're giving form to something that doesn't have a tangible form.
Exactly.
Yeah. It is surrounded, strong, resolute, and very firm in his conviction that it is good.
Neat.
It means it wasn't your fault, Doofus. Just boots her on the nose.
I mean, I get that. This whole soul thing is weird. It's
Well,
not
I'm
anything
I'm a
else.
freaky mage with all the magics. I'm going to get you. Ooh, and make sparkles of magic in her face.
Can you please not do that while you're touching my soul?
Can I do something with her soul?
Can we not?
I don't know, Aeon. What do you want to do with her soul?
I don't know. I have magic. Let's see what I can do.
He just starts like grabbing her face.
you
Long as you don't assault in a weird.
Oh wait, the dragon scales are turning to candy.
Aeon, finesse check.
Oh my god, what am I doing?
I'm pretty sure she don't work, but
Oh no.
it's a green.
As long as this doesn't turn into a weird thing, I allow it.
If I turn Cassandra into a lollipop, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Just don't eat her.
Yes.
Just turns
Is
into
this-
a purple and black
It's
lollipop. and
finesse,
just,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put her face on it.
Just you see her eyes and a
9.
blade in the back. and
9.
just like,
Aeon, you are squishing up Cassandra's cheeks, but that's about it.
Oh, I feel it. The dragon scales is turning into candy floss. Oh, it's so sticky, and Cassandra, you are turning into sweets.
Stop the magic.
Ah,
They're
Don't
fucking
worry.
with you.
don't worry, I don't think it diminishes your intelligence at all. It's always this low.
Damn.
Ouch.
Wait, say that. Wait, okay, you're a little softer. Say it again.
I don't think it diminished your intelligence at all. It was always this low.
Oh. Ouch.
Cassandra just glares at you. Are you calling me stupid?
I don't know. Am I?
Let's be real, you kinda deserved that one, though.
All you can see is Kai just like going up to her and patting her shoulders, going like, "She learned that from you."
She's just shaking with anger right now, and just little puffs of fire coming out of her
Yeah.
nose.
Flicker on the nose.
And at that fling, she just says, "That's it!" and tackles Rosa, and just holds her in a headlock.
Opposed force checks.
Okay.
All you see is Kai just like looking at Kunara like, "Should we?"
I would, but I'm finding this way too amusing.
11.
Force checks.
Reminds me of the good old days.
10. New.
Alright, Rosa, you are held.
I will steal your soul. I am magic voodoo and shit.
Rosa, no stealing people's souls. That's villainy.
I'm stealing the soul.
You can steal my soul and I'll still choke you.
Literally, all you see is Kai just going like, "We have."
It's just like, no, just I got one. It's like this. It's like, you steal my soul, fine. I'll make you cough up a hairball.
I don't do that much.
All you see is Kai just looking at like a clock or something, just going like, "Yeah, you have a minute before we break this up."
Okay, I think that's a good point to end that scene on.
Yes.
Although,
Loving headlocks and indignant cat noises.
Yes.
Although, Kanala looks at Aeon. Aeon is...
Mystic.
Yes, sorry, my mom was talking to me. What's up?
No worries. Hey, Aeon.
Yes, Kuna?
I suppose on the topic of, well, magic and tricks, I've learnt a little something while I was here.
You learned magic?
Something like that. Come close a moment.
Hmm?
Do what a moment? Look close?
Come close.
Oh, okay. He comes closer to her.
Kanala reaches behind, I guess, one of Aeon's ears, and then when she rejects her hand in front of you, there'd be a rainbow lollipop, like one of those big ones you would find.
Ooh, lollipop! It was in my ears?
Oh
He
my
says pat in
god.
his ears.
Wonder how it got there. I think you should have it.
Yay! He just takes it and just stuffs it in his mouth.
Oh my god. You gave him a rainbow lollipop?
Why not?
Kuna!
You're welcome.
Okay.
All you see is Kai just like, you spoil them way too much.
What? This is daily sugar.
Nom,
Eats his,
nom, nom,
eats his
nom.
daily sugar. I'm pretty sure
Daily
Aeon
sugar.
consumes like 3 times the amount of sugar you're supposed to in a day.
Yeah, he pounds a pound of sugar, and Aeon himself weighs like 6 pounds.
It's like someone takes a biology class on Moogles. It's like studying Aeon. It's like you think he's got like just a normal size of a Moogle. No, his entire body is like 1,000% of candy and sugar. We don't know how he stores it, but it's just there.
This thing is a biological anomaly. We're pretty sure it was in the annihilation zone.
And then a student just raises her hand for questions like, so how is it not fat? We don't understand that either.
We think it jitters too much. None of the sugar has a chance to become body fat before it gets burned up. That's why it consumes so much.
God forbid Aeon meets like a doctor with diabetes or something, because they had a field day with him.
Oh,
Did you say? I'm sorry, I must have misheard that. I thought you said eats a doctor with diabetes. Which,
No, a doctor that studies diabetes. I said it wrong. Meats, yeah. There you go. That's. You just spit it back out. This ain't sweet. It's the opposite of sweet.
It's like, ooh, raw meat. Nom. Nope.
Dear, how do you eat this stuff?
I cook it first.
Blech.
Anyway.
You know most dragons of antiquity ate raw meat exclusively, right?
I mean, we can breathe fire, so
Yeah.
we never needed to eat it raw. We could just breathe on it for a bit and it'd be cooked.
And besides,
Dragon.
What about ice dragons and lightning dragons and like
We don't
stuff
talk
that isn't
about
fire?
them.
We don't talk about.
I have to.
I wonder if there's any dragon who ever tried to cook with lightning. Just an odd thought.
Lightning is another way to cook. It's like another.
And it's
Yeah,
what
fire
Arcane
in
got
sense.
Volta to do. That's what I was referencing.
Yep, in the afterlife, Balthus is like,
No, Volta.
my ears, they burn. What?
It's amazing
Anyway.
for a ghost.
Back on
To be
track.
fair, though, meat does taste a lot better when it's cooked.
It does. Anyways,
My
shall we get
personal
back to the game?
Yes, 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 yes.
But we are in the game still.
No, we kind of got sidetracked talking about out of character shit there for a minute. So, anyways, my brain just did a not good. Okay,
You want the lollipop?
no, thank you. So,
Aeon talking to God again?
is there anything else anyone wants to do during this particular day?
We didn't
Give
want a
God a
lollipop.
Other than to continue
Give God a
the
lollipop.
outfit.
All right.
Yeah, but Kanala has gotten back to that, and
Alright.
is
I don't know why, but I could just see
Okay.
Kai just going like, and I'm going back to work.
Hey, as like we get back to it, and as you guys are kind of more working on the like I imagine Panara working on like the armored boots and Kayana designing like the various design of the jacket and the seams and all that. You just see Rosa just like a green chain. One of you probably recently forged, and she's just starting to etch some runes into it and bringing life to them with magic.
Nice bit of detail.
Yeah, and also in the workshop, you can just see Kai's book of a drawing of Rosa, like, full body, and he has her measurements correct.
I am very meticulous with my measurements.
On the topics of books, can I just writing in
I'm
something?
I'm surprised that she didn't question it.
Well, regardless, let's go ahead and get on to the next day now, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So, after all of that character development that I was not anticipating today, thanks again, guys. That was great.
This has
You're
become a
welcome.
sessionally thing. How have you not come to realize this?
I don't know. Anyway.
Welcome to growth.
Shush.
It's
It
called
always
character development.
Yes, I know, and I love it, but I keep not expecting it to happen the way it
Oh,
does.
that sounds like a good reality. That
You
sounds
guys
like a
keep
good show.
surprising me, and I'm loving it. Anyways, so, the following day. Shall we start with the outfit?
Indeed, because I would imagine Kanar wanted to get that done first.
Yep.
She's been working long and hard
So,
on it.
2 days of working on a new Tier 2 set of equipment. Rosa, I'm going to go ahead and just say for purposes and brevity that you find yourself making your way into the workshop where Kunara and Kayana have been working for the past couple of days, not long after getting up, and it's ready. Kunara and Kayana, you have finished. You just got done putting the finishing touches on.
Is it done? Is it done? Is it done? Is it done? It's done.
Give me a
moment.
moment.
I can just see Kai just like telling her to close her eyes.
My eyes are open. I have helped made this. I need it. It's fine.
Give me a moment, Rosa.
It's like a child.
There. That's the last scene.
I can no longer
What do
get
you
excited
think?
about meeting family. I'm more reserved. I get excited about clothing. It is my new clothes.
my own heart.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Verity.
You're welcome, darling.
No.
And it's displayed on one of those like mannequins just to make sure the measurements are correct.
All right.
So,
Let me just
What do
hold on,
you
let me
think?
just check. She's gonna poke the chain with a bit of magic and go whoop, like a small little spark. Yep, that works. I've weaved into this little chain here with these runes an auto life bell. Basically, if anything ever hits me hard enough to make me go lights out, I won't be anymore. It'll be like an instant rejuvenation, like a Phoenix down.
But only once per
Indeed.
combat.
Indeed. Indeed. It will do it. No, it doesn't happen constantly. Like, it's not, an eternal life spell. It's more like when it happens, it will require a significant recharge. So it's a stopgap more than anything. But it functions.
Well,
It also means that there's more chances for me to save the rest of you if you go for an unscheduled nap.
with that in mind, would you like to describe your new outfit?
First, Rosa, I assume, scurries them out of the room because getting changed.
Yep.
I've enough seeing people naked for one lifetime.
there's a changing room, I believe, over there. So go ahead.
That'll work.
Cassandra just was like, most of us in here are girls, right?
Yes, I am acutely aware of that fact. More than I ever thought I would.
She's welcome to her privacy.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess.
I'm shy, okay? Shut up.
I'm just saying, the only boys in here is a Moogle and a
I'm
dragon.
going to change it now.
Just let me know if you need any adjustments.
So, Rosa, blushing and embarrassed, takes her new outfit to the changing room. Just assume there's a mirror in there, so she takes time to just give herself a look over one last time in her present outfit that our DM so liked.
I did like it.
So did I, but just the outfit change just feels right.
It's not
Yeah.
quite. What's the word?
It's very civilian.
The word escapes me. There was a word. Well, either way, continue.
Yeah, in a way, in some ways, I kind of also prefer it, but it just seems so much.
It makes it seems much younger
Practical.
as well.
That was the word I was looking for.
Practical, yeah.
It's not technically
It's-
practical for combat.
This I also really like because I designed it. But yeah, so off comes the vest, our old frozen, just disintegrating boots. She's keeping the cravat, the necklace, the Blackstone heirloom, obviously, her undershirt and her trousers, along with the belt with her book holster. That all remains the same. What is changing is her new jacket, which has grey linings around, including along the shoulders.
It does
The
follow the
cuffs.
same color scheme as your old vest.
Yeah, predominantly black. With some golden buttons, and on the left breast there is a small green chain that hangs down and connects in two places, upon which the arcane runes do so glow. Also, the green representing her status as a green mage. Her new boots, meanwhile, are hardened leather armor with various ornate designs and also resembling like various magic runes and ones you might see, symbols and stuff you might see relating to the soul winds and the Athils. And I suck at descriptions, so you'd be better at this, Kassandra.
Well, I do also happen to just have a picture.
I'm very good at writing descriptions and reading them off. I'm less good at doing descriptions in the moment.
Ah.
So yes, a new, largely dark gray, black-colored vest with bluish linings. There is some very slight, very gentle, medals on the shoulders for some arm protection. The green chain, as Tom mentioned. The cravat, necklace, and trousers, those are all the same. Undershirt, that's the same. The sleeves of this new jacket are all similarly lined and kind of stiff and hug close. The boots are indeed armored, though I did not have the patience to draw all of the intimate details you were talking about.
Yeah, I was kind of in the 14 design, but it's fine.
Yeah. Complete with some slightly sticking out knee guards to keep them safe. And in general, just sturdier, firmer boots. So yes, Rosa has gotten an upgraded look. You got all of that put on. It fits nice. Feels a little weird, but it fits nice all the same. I'm going to now delete that handout and that image file because that is a lot.
You are so much better doing impromptu descriptions without having to write it out in thought out detail beforehand.
I've been doing it
He's
a
been doing
lot.
this
I've
for
been-
a while.
Yeah, I very much have. So I have some experience with it.
You'll get there soon, Tom.
Also, it doesn't help that when looking at the design, I didn't even notice things like the bloody metal arm pads.
Yeah.
You're the one who did up the final design. Should have talked about it more.
Yeah, I did up the arm pads mostly just so that not having them made the top of the vest feel kind of weird. It just didn't look quite right, so I added them just to give it a little more design and a little more definition up top. But yes.
Looks eerily Sephiroth.
Fred, don't, Freya.
Freya? What?
So whenever she hears something,
Mm.
I thought it was Diablo, so I was about to go.
Yeah. Nah. Anyway, so you have your clothes on. You're ready to show it off to your mates.
Alright. Indeed, Rosa does slowly hold up her old outfit and I'll stick it in amongst her things, and then exit the room.
Oh.
Well, you look at you.
It looks fine, doesn't it? I mean, it's not too tight around the edges, or makes me look stupid, or...
Oh, you look like an
Carl is expecting you from a distance. I think it definitely suits you. Makes you look more mature and
Yeah.
sophisticated.
Definitely look like an adventurer now.
Yeah, you can definitely see Kai smiling proudly.
Either an adventurer or a really stern and competent businesswoman.
Well, I have some, mercantile knowledge, if you say so myself, mostly from my parents and running a business with them. But, mostly the adventuring angle, I think. And now, if you punch me really hard, I just get back up again.
Can I test it?
No.
Yeah,
I already had you try to punch me once. Unpleasant. Let's not.
Just want to draw on his shoulder.
That's not how the enchantment works, Cassie.
I see. I'm never gonna live this down, am I?
You
No.
look great, Swishes.
Thank you. My tail is indeed switching. Thank you for noticing. See, unlike some people, I earned my nickname. Eventually.
And
Yes.
Kai just looks at her with a smirk, just like, and I'm still keeping it for blackmail, you know.
Tiamat hops up, plants his front paws on your shoulder and whispers in your ear. Given enough time, I'm sure you can think up of something just as embarrassing to sling back at her.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. He pats you on the cheek and hops back down.
Just a little smack of the cheek.
Rosa starts looking down, trying to examine herself. That gives a little twirl as if it were a dress. Like, I love it.
I'm glad you do.
And it has
And,
sleeves. I can be warm.
Yeah, you're definitely not pulling off that cute librarian look anymore.
I was never cute. I'm not cute.
Yes,
said
you
I'm
are.
Cute. No.
Yeah.
Say she was cute, more adorable.
Not adorable. Mm.
Yeah, you are.
Yes,
Wow.
you're pouting like that.
Not pouting. My it's just doing things. Shush.
Aww.
Yes,
So
and
much
those things are
blushing.
called pouting.
Shh. You're. Mm.
I see a little blush there.
Okay,
Just-
ease up.
I'm just sunburnt in the cold for reasons unknown. Shut up.
Cassandra just goes up there and just flings her arm around her shoulder. It's okay. You look great.
So
And
was
I
that? Cassandra's.
Cassandra's just coming over and just wrapping her arm around your shoulders. Just like, it's okay. You look great.
Thanks.
Oh, I almost forgot. I hope you don't mind, but I noticed your quiver was a little bit, wear and tear, so I managed to patch that up as well.
Thanks. How much is the black leather?
I also put a little description on it around the edge where the arrows would go.
Say what?
I also may have put a little description around where the arrows would go.
Do you mean an inscription?
Yeah.
Inscription, that description. What are you describing? Like, this is where the arrows go.
Not
exactly.
That's
way.
instructions for how to use a quiver. Just like insert arrows here, points down.
That's
Points
the wrong.
down,
FF,
points points up.
That's
You're
the
gonna
wrong
cut-
one.
you're
that's the
gonna-
wrong
That's the
FFD6 chat. That is Forsaken, not
Yeah.
Chronicles of Eno.
I shall fix that. Basically, you find this around the edging.
What does that say?
What the hell?
That's, I suppose, in character. Oh.
MF1.
Yeah, forgive me, old dialect. It basically means, may your arrows hit their mark. Probably should have really learned how to write more like you people. Yeah.
So the only word I can read out of that is hit.
Yeah, the characters are oddly in common. I appreciate the sentiment, Panara. Thank you. I would always accept a gift from my wolf mama.
Who knows? You keep practicing and maybe you'll be better than your grandma needs.
Blasphemy. I haven't shot lasers yet.
On the subject of your grandma knee, when are we heading out? I like it here, but I get antsy if I stay in one place for too long. And we do have things we need to get to.
Point out there's also Kanara's shield, although that be done. Or does that still need to be worked on?
I figured that'd be done at this point. I'll let you have that.
Alright.
There were 3 of us working at it all at once. I'm sure we actually find time.
And now we are thoroughly broke again.
Yes, we have 150 gil. From the trip we've had from Marasu to Lapinia, how much gil was that?
From Lapinia to Marasu? I believe I have a handout here somewhere that should have here we are. Ferries. Okay, naval ferries can take the party from any one port city on the map to any other open port. The cost of travel for such transportation is typically 5 to 10 gil per person multiplied by the number of days the voyage would take. Additional cargo can up this price to up to 20 gil per person, so like bringing along Fluffy, for example. Airships charge a flat rate of 200 gil per person and can only take people to big cities outside of Dirge. Bringing along animals or other significant cargo will increase the cost of that ticket to 300 gil. Intercontinental flights cost 500 gil due to the distances involved. The flat rate is made up for by the fact that no matter what, you are likely to reach your destination very, very quickly.
So by ship to get from Windust to Zolvain, that'll be about 38 days. Well, that's 38-day travel.
Let me double check the travel time handout, because by boat, it's 4 times, it's quadruple speed.
So 38 divided by 4.
38 divided by 4, around 19.
9, specifically. 9.
No, it was 9, sorry. Damn.
Yeah, so about 9 days, if you round it down. So if it was 5 gil a piece, 20, it's about 25 gil. How much for the chocobo?
We'll round it up to like total like 10, 15, something like that.
Or would this be on a ship or something?
So,
Yes.
Well, yes, there's gonna be a ship.
Yeah,
We can't
it's
afford an
fine.
airship.
So 25. So 25 at base for all of us, plus 15 for Fluffy. So 40 gil. And how much is it increased per days?
It's just you get charged that amount for every day you're at sea.
So 40
So-
gil a day. So there's 9 days. So 14.
Going across the old
We
big
need
blue again.
360 gil, which we could honestly afford an airship with that as well.
So
For one person.
for one
Oh,
person,
oh,
that's
for
200
one
per
person.
plus Fluffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need 300. So in all, to get from the port of Windust to the port of Zolvain in the state of Anasamo in the nation of the Confederacy of Nubatea, we need 360 gil.
What about Lalatown? I'd say Grandpa Thanatos and all of them made a bunch of money there. There could be some.
Yes. I was just going to suggest that perhaps we could do a few jobs along the way.
It's on the way to Windhurst, and again, it's next to Black Chocobo Forest. There's bound to be plenty of jobs. A beast, need slaying, bandits, whatever.
We need something that gives us a little over double of what we currently have. So
I mean, it's not like we
200
all
gil?
want to go all the way to Tenori.
no, I think some of us are very keen to avoid that place for the time being. Am I right, Kayana?
As irritating as Gil is, I'm sure we can earn enough for this trip. Do not worry about that. Besides, to be
did Kayana reply to what Rosa said?
Just the silence. She's just like just doesn't want to look at the. When you mentioned to Nori, she just looked away.
Yep. That's what I thought.
And besides, I can assure you it would take me more than 2 days to make us a boat big enough, so best to travel with one that's already built.
Yeah, no offense, Kanara. I appreciate your crafting skill, but I don't really trust.
It would take me years to make sure the boat is safe, so no. We are going by a built boat, like I said.
like I said, we'll stop on Lotto on the way and make some money there.
Okay. I'm down for that. Our second adventuring job, may it be less tumultuous than the first.
Yeah, hopefully we don't run into slaving rings.
Sorry.
I mean, didn't Grandpa and them run into poachers back during the old days?
Something like
yes, in the Black Chocobo Forest, they were Vinaldi hired.
Oh,
Ooh,
right.
Ooh, maybe we'll find one of those things that Grandpa told me about. The
Galterix?
Galterix, that was it.
I mean,
they're typically so cool.
They're typically very deep into the Black Chocobo Forest. The one that the Warriors of Light encountered only happened because of the poaching.
Poachers.
I just
Not
think
taking
it'd
my
be so
favorite.
cool to try out your new armor and stuff. And
Well, hopefully you'd handle it better than Uncle and Grandpa Thampy, because he missed every attack he did on that thing.
Well, I'm not Grandpa Thampy, and I can jump. Let's see this thing in the air mess with me.
Well, if we ever do come across poachers, I'm certainly no fan of theirs.
Well,
After all, at least when I kill things, I do it for a purpose. Them, they're just greedy and wasteful.
well, regardless. Is there anything else we want to take care of here before we head out?
Grandma Panara, Vis, and your aunt are still here. We should probably say bye.
Yeah, if I just up and leave, Auntie will probably never forgive me.
Also, I mean, if we do end up going towards Garlat and doing some snooping, don't you think she'd want to be involved in all that? She strikes me as the person who would very much cast a giant fireball into the face of Douche McGee.
As much as I'm sure Auntie would love to throw Riker into a gigantic fireball, I don't know. I don't want to risk her job here. Again, she's got a big position here in Anoma that was attacking captain of a city guard.
Well, maybe she doesn't have to help us with an attack. Maybe there are other ways she can help.
I do think that we should at least tell her what we're planning, because what have we learned about keeping secrets from family recently?
Don't keep them.
I mean, I guess we can.
It's just not. If we're trying to fix old hurts, let's not make any more on the way if we can help it. By just omission.
I just don't want her to get hurt. The only reason he didn't go after her is because she was at such a position in Anomo.
Well, if she has such a high position, I'm sure she can find a more subtle way to help. She's all about her big explosions, but she's not a dumbass.
Well, no, she's not a dumbass. She's the one who finished the curriculum the fastest in all Anomo.
Well, there you go. It means she's clever. She can find another way to help.
I think it means that we can trust her to make her own decisions, as we can. My parents should have trusted me, and we should have trusted Aeon.
I mean,
it will be fine, Cassandra. Even if it's just a bit of advice, it could help us in the long run.
No secrets, just family and hugs. Hugs her. That is the name of the game.
Indeed.
Okay. We'll go tell her.
It's mostly the hugs.
Splendid. While you all do that, I get ready myself and... Aeon?
Miss, I don't know if Hun's back.
She is the BRB.
She had the BRB, which most likely...
Aeon is just happily munching on a lollipop or something.
Most likely her parents decided, hey, I need to bother you.
Aeon is just happily munching on lollipop, and every now and then you see him just move it towards his floof, and Charlotte take a few licks. And he keeps going.
Do spiders have
Spiders
tongues?
don't have tongues!
This one does.
And it's not a spider. It's wrong.
It's a spider who has been inside the floof of Aeon. It has mutated.
It is...
Oh my god.
Wow.
Into a floof spider.
A floof spider.
And I thought Pinchy was a mutant in campaign 1. That's
What have we created?
I don't know.
a spider with a tongue, apparently, which is
It's
disturbing
Charlotte.
to me.
Mystic had no say in this. Mystic had no say in Charlotte having a tongue.
What I hate more is that she's not here right now. And I just feel...
She's flesh tongue.
The questions are real, I swear.
I swear.
Mystic just comes like, by the way, Charlotte's tongue.
The tongue arachnid in its natural habitat.
Arachnatongue.
Spider.
This is a floof spider. It needs to lick all the candy in there somehow. That's tongue.
My god.
It can get very territorial for those who try to pick upon it.
Nee is. Oh. Rosa is all in for this somewhere. Nee just shivers.
Oh dear. Yeah, let's not show knee, Charlotte. Let's not.
I sense that my granddaughter is shaming the family name. Spiders. Eh.
You know, there are two moments with knee and spider that I don't know which I like better. The moment... Oh, hi, hon.
Welcome back. That's good.
Charlotte
Charlotte
has a tongue, apparently.
What did you do to my spider?
It's a
They
nightmare.
gave it a
help.
tongue.
So apparently Tom decided to give Charlotte a tongue.
Magdalene.
I just jokingly made a description that while you were AFK, Aeon was just licking a lollipop and then moved the lollipop down to his floof, and Charlotte came out and licked it as well. And then you kept
So
going.
apparently being in the floof so long mutated it into a floof spider, and apparently has a tongue and likes candy.
And
And I thought
flies.
Pinchy was the
And fleas.
only mutant.
What?
Hmm?
Oh, and the flies and the fleas, yes. Aeon does not have fleas because of Charlotte. Just
But
Kunara.
now you.
Turns out
anyways,
Aeon's
now you're
entire
back.
fur is just spiderweb.
Does Kunara have fleas?
Spider Moogle, Spider Moogle,
Oh,
the
God.
Devil Everest, Spider Moogle.
Okay, let's
Oscar,
just
that
move
should be
on,
enough.
please.
Yes, because now back.
Okay, either way,
Aeon.
is it. Good.
Yes.
Well, they deal with some important matters. How about you come along with me and we pick out some food for the road?
So you're asking me to come?
Of course. For your own variety to pick, and of course, the fruit would be handy to carry some of it, if you don't mind.
Yay! I'm useful.
Oh my god.
Don't forget to say,
I take that as a yes.
don't forget to say goodbye to your
I'm
aunt.
useful. I'm having a wonderful time.
Oh, God.
Time to have my
Yep.
fingers
We're loopy today.
We are.
We're always looping.
To the Loopy Club.
Don't forget to say goodbye to your aunt.
I will bring him to his aunt. Don't you worry about that.
So yeah, apparently we're cluing Auntie into our plan at Garlad.
We're just saying how, after what we've learned about trust recently, we shouldn't keep her in the dark about something important to family.
I don't know why, but I just imagine Kunara having to take one child, the other one has to take the chaotic children.
Well, you are left with the other two, so have fun.
Just as they're walking away, just like Cassandra just shouts, "Can you please make sure you pick something other than sweets?"
Don't worry, Asham. Make sure we have other food
If you
varieties.
get chocolate, get properly, milk chocolate. It has milk in it. That's great.
Jerky.
I'm
I
pretty
love
sure all
jerky.
chocolate has milk in it, but sure.
Milk.
Chocolate
Yes.
milk covered jerky. Got it.
Oh no.
Oh, that
Chocolate milk
revolting.
covered jerky.
What?
Sounds disgusting.
What? What madness would create such a thing?
Gee, Agent of Chaos here.
Yeah.
I'm a big enough idiot that I kind of want to try that now.
Somewhere Freya is patting Aeon on the head.
Just get a jug of chocolate milk and dip in some beef jerky and see what happens.
All you see is, yeah, literally just Freya it's sounding so proud. She's like, that's my little agent of chaos.
Okay.
I think I'll rather try the lemon again. It was a bit bitter, but nothing too special.
Oh my! Don't! Can we get? Don't mention lemons when we go see Seraphina, please.
Kanara has tried a lemon, and she just thought it was a bit bitter for her taste.
Lemon
Sour.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The old
Anyway,
memes.
so they go grocery shopping, and I guess we go to Panara first. If
you wanna go?
Waiting for Aeon and Seraphina.
Wherever you want to go, I guess.
With you, by the way.
The discipline.
Okay,
Well,
Kyan's
we gotta
coming.
wait for them
Nope.
to come back to do Seraphina, so I guess we'll do Panara.
All right. So just so we're clear, it's Cassandra, Rosa, and Kyanna going for Panara?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
No.
I want to
Please.
keep an eye on them.
all right, so you three make your way back to the primary central university building on the northern end of the city. You make your way in, you ask after Panara, and pretty quickly you are directed to the airship port. Apparently,
I take it they're leaving.
Yes, from what I understand, their preparations for this little leave of absence they're taking have been completed, and they're due to depart in the next few hours.
Well, seems our schedules align. Great. Which direction is that?
And she sort of leans over and points. You go down that way, you follow that flight up 2 floors, go down the hall until you find the door with the yellow sign. You just go through that and follow the stairway up, and eventually you'll get there.
Great. As we go to the academy, can I keep an eye out for a Moogle? I want to see if there's any Moogles around here.
Do we really want? We don't have our Moogle with us. Why do you want to find a Moogle?
Because I'm just curious whether there are Moogles that Aeon could meet around here.
Make an awareness check as you're going.
Playing
Okay.
play date with Aeon.
Or again, if we do run into a Moogle, I want Aeon to be here to see if they have like a reaction to him or something.
I just want to see whether there are Moogles around here, because he used to be a receptionist, but he did. So.
I know. I was trying to see if there was a Moogle in the reception and see how he would react, but he wouldn't let me have that.
6 and a 4 on my awareness is 3. So,
Technically,
13.
Tears with us, so that's an extra D6 and then awareness.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's true.
Thank you for reminding me about tears. Flowers. 15.
15. If there are currently any Moogles in the Academy City, unfortunately, your current route does not bring you into contact with any of them.
I was hoping there'd be Moogles around here for
He won't
Aeon.
let us have it.
No. He is a cruel master.
He is.
How
I'm
dare
the
he?
last Moogle in existence.
The last Moogle. Coming to theaters near you.
Oh God, you're the last reigning Moogle.
Anyway, so after following the instructions the receptionist gave you, you soon find yourself stepping out onto the airship landing. This large chamber sort of built into the side of the central university, a monolithic archway of stone brick, reinforced and hardened with arcane glowing blue runes that also serve as staging lights to provide illumination even during the dark. You can see that there are multiple different piers sort of jutting out, at which numerous smaller airships, very clearly nethicite powered, are hitched up and currently dormant. Scanning your eyes over the environment through the various pieces of cargo hauling equipment and men and women going about hauling crates and clipboards back and forth, and the general clamor of activity as repairs are made and tune-ups are done and everything is being prepared for takeoff or finalized for a long-term stay, your eyes do eventually settle near the end, the northernmost end of this landing. You see one airship in particular that you don't necessarily immediately identify what nation or company might have made it, and standing sort of just off the pier that would lead to it, you see 3 individuals. You see Panara, You see Vise next to her, and they're both talking to an Elvon individual, sort of darker skin, with a clipboard and sort of a grumpy look on his face, but otherwise seems to just be chatting.
Anyone we should know?
You don't recognize this individual, no.
What kind of robes is he wearing?
He's not wearing robes. He's wearing a flight suit.
So it's a pilot, most likely.
Rosa begins to approach slowly, kind of giving a inquisitive gander around at this airship dock. Eyes lingering moment, and she seems to spot a wall that says Biggs and Wedgeworth's here.
Biggs and Wedgeworth here. They're long dead.
This is where we first met them.
So is it.
This airship dock.
Anyways, so as you're sort of approaching, the Elvon man sort of looks past Panara and Vise. We got some company. You do want to take care of this? Panara turns around to look. Oh, Rosa.
She's my grandma. I'm not a creeper creeping.
How was I supposed to know that?
Eh.
Yeah. He turns and starts walking back down the pier. Vise turns to you. Rosa, good to see you. Come to see us off?
Yes, and us too. We were about to leave the city. That's why we came up to say goodbye.
I see. To where are you
Where-
bound?
I think right now it's going to be Lolato to earn some funds, and then with those funds we're going to travel up to Zolvain by boat, and then to Vitae.
To see
Maybe.
Neophil.
Yeah. If that's the main plan, there might also be a stop in Garlas somewhere down the line as well. For some other Shadowgrass-based business, but yeah.
Yes, I had heard about that. Panara sort of looks past you to Cassandra. I was never made privy to the finer details, but I heard enough.
She kind of looks away.
I knew Thanatos very well, you know. And Kyra.
He
I'm
talked
confident
about
that-
you. Said you were really creepy when you first met.
I have that effect on people, yes.
Not on me. You're my grandma.
Regardless,
Great grandma.
yes. I say all of that.
That's a mouthful to say.
I say all of that, Cassandra. Just so that you know, I don't think it was actually your fault. Whatever the finer points are, I believe you are innocent.
You think Neophil heard of it?
Oh, she absolutely did. And she was furious.
Really?
Of course. The Shadowgrasps are near and dear family friends to the Ithils. I don't know exactly what actions she took after word reached her, but I know she tried to do something. Whether anything came of it remains a mystery to me.
Guess we'll ask her when we get there.
I'm going to have to decide what she did then. Okay.
If I were to crack a guess, I would imagine she was trying to keep it on the down low to avoid causing a diplomatic incident. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Regardless of her status as a warrior of light, she is still predominantly a member of the Vataean military. And if one of them started acting with hostility towards someone with as high a rank as Riker, well, you can see how that could escalate very quickly.
That's why you didn't let Auntie go either. And the teacher in the Nomo attacking a captain of the guard probably wouldn't look well for the academy either.
It certainly wouldn't.
one he probably would have tried to do in that situation. Being as her.
Let me see here. Gotcha. Now then. Well then. I suppose this is where we part ways for the time being.
You gonna go blow up Gorgal this time?
That is the plan.
Please. Please, do. Take pictures.
How?
Magic.
It doesn't work like that? If I could still use ambermancy, perhaps I could, but I can't.
Yeah.
And besides,
Stupid
I'd rather there not be any trace of his visage left on this world by the time I'm done.
Just let us know how things go, and if help is needed, please.
We'll let you know. As soon as we get the
Hey.
chance. It might be
Arch
a while
Black
before.
Maid.
It might be a while
Okay.
before you hear anything from us, considering the vastly different directions we are going. And I don't know how long this hunt will take. If Fulgal has left his lair by the time we arrive, it could be several moons before we track him down.
The Arch Black Maid, Shivanomo, and a sage from the Solana jungle. He doesn't stand a chance.
And for that reason, he may very well make it a point to keep a distance. And that could very well make it a very long hunt.
Well, make this a successful one. When I first saw that name, it's like I knew it personally. I mean, I didn't know why, because I would have been a baby, but... Yeah, the pain. Even then, I think I knew when he did it.
Cassandra
God,
kinda
something.
Goes up. Cassandra kind of goes up and hugs Rosa from behind.
Kill him good, please.
We will. Don't worry. When I begin a hunt, my quarry does not escape.
Well, then when we next meet, I hope that we can share stories and I can show you some new things I've learned to make you proud, Teach.
I look forward to it, and I know you will.
And then just, hey Panara,
Yes?
when you deal with him, burn him to where there's not even ash left.
Panara sort of gets a little smirk on her face, and there's this brief instant where you kind of feel like this little vibration in the air, and there's just a second where all sound just suddenly cuts out, just leaving a little note before it all suddenly comes rushing back. I don't plan on leaving even atoms behind. Don't worry.
Just beware if he has anything like a phylactery, any other methods of cheating. He survived me once.
We'll have to look
Yes.
into that, but there's not really any way of knowing if he does have one. All we can really hope for is that when we kill him this time, he won't come back.
Be careful, alright?
I will.
I just met you and I want more time.
I haven't lived this long by being reckless, Rosa. I'll be careful. You're the one who needs to exercise excessive caution.
Well, that's what these guys for. Well, except for Cassandra, she's worse than I am.
Cassandra just kind of leans her head again on Rosa's shoulder. Eh, don't worry. I'll make sure she stays in one piece.
I was going to ask her to keep you in one piece, but all right.
We'll keep each other in one piece, and then probably Kayana and Kunara will do the heavy lifting.
You could just hear Kai just going like, yeah, it's more like I have to keep an eye on both of you.
Then from the airship, all right, we're ready to head out whenever you two are. Everything's ready to go. We'll be there in just a moment. Forgive me, Rosa, but we can't put this off.
You can't. I'm gonna give her a hug.
Panara will lock up for a second, surprised, but then return it.
You did say that was one thing I didn't need to ask permission for.
True. But I've still only just met you, so it's a little surprising.
Just allow me this.
I am.
You could just hear Kai just like nudging Cassandra and like take a mental picture of that.
She just looks down at Kai and just smiles and then just looks back to it.
Come, Panara. We can delay no longer. Right. And Panara sort of pulls out of the embrace. Take care of yourself. When Vorgol is dead, we'll reach out.
I look forward to it. And anything you want me to tell Ramani?
No, I believe my words can be conveyed by myself. You have more than enough that you need to say, so you worry about that.
Let her know I'm coming. I'd rather not make a thing of it like this was.
I imagine she might appreciate a happy surprise like that, but if you insist, I can send word ahead. Or rather, Vise can probably send word ahead. I'm not going to have the opportunity to send a letter on an airship.
I just feel like, given everything, it might be better to give her time to process and prepare.
Of course. There is also the option, if you feel up to it. You could write a letter yourself.
Do we have time now? You're going.
Panara just sort of leans in a little bit and smiles. I mean, I know her address. I give you that, and you have all the time in the world to think of what you want to say.
Okay.
All right, so if there are no objections,
Just writes down the address somewhere and just.
Panara will share Neothil's address in Vitae.
Me and Mika's house. The
Yep,
Taya, with the one with the library jutting out of it.
Yep. Nee and Mika's
That new
house.
build.
Nee and Mika's house and the Athil estate, just in case.
Yeah. The Phil estate at this point belongs to Keth. But yeah.
Indeed.
Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't belong to Keth. It belongs to where Rania's kids would have been.
Indeed.
She was firstborn. Yeah.
True.
Indeed.
Ronnie and Skull are gone, right?
Yeah.
All right, I need to get a move on. Take care of yourself, yeah?
I will.
Panara will give you a pat on the shoulder, and then she'll turn and make her way back to the airship. Kind of watch her go for a second, and before long, she disappears over the railing and ventures down into the ship. A moment later, the engine suddenly start to thrum up to life. There's this sort of vaguely lavender glow from the engines in the back. The connecting chains come unlatched, and the airship drifts sideways through the air for a second, tilting slightly. It rights itself, and with a powerful gust of wind as the propellers kick into motion and the engines start pushing it through the air, it accelerates, slowly at first, out of the airship landing, at which point it then rapidly picks up pace, very rapidly disappearing into the distance. Little ripple as it passes through the barrier dome over the city.
Rosa is going to write down a dress and pocket it where she, before leaving this city, is going to pretty much almost immediately now go to write one up and give it to the appropriate individuals before they depart. And I'm not actually going to write this letter because I feel writing a letter to myself would be a bit weird.
Right?
In my head, I know what would be said and how me would react because I am both characters.
Indeed. It's basically just, hey, I'm coming to see you.
Like, hi, me, I'm going to see me. Okay, thank you, me.
Anyways.
This is gonna be a funny interaction when we get to it. It's just Tom and the
Hey.
Yeah. And there is shit I need to do before that happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, so, with all that said, that is the Panara interaction complete.
I guess we go collect our wolf and Moogle from their grocery shopping and then go see Auntie.
Yeah, for the sake of brevity, you get a nice enough assortment of food, no issue, and team back up and start making your way to find Seraphina. And it's not hard, you know where her office is. And when you get to her office as a full group, you sort of knock a few times, and from the other side, come in! Oh, hi, meets.
Cassandra just kind of pokes her head and is like, you okay, Auntie?
You see Seraphina is kind of currently struggling with a large stack of papers that she's sort of bringing over from a box that's sort of tucked over in the side of the room to set on her desk. Yep, fine, just got some shit to deal with now. Okay, I didn't drop any, did I? No, good, okay, excellent. Not fucking up yet. Cool.
So I guess you're stuck with Panara's paperwork while she's gone?
Yep, while she's away, I'm in charge of her duties for the time being.
So you're the Archmage now.
No, I don't fill that role. I'm taking over her classes while she's gone.
Aw.
At any rate. She then turns to sort of face the rest of you more directly, notes the whole group is together. There is a lot of you. Something going on?
Yep.
We're gonna be heading out soon.
Ah, I see. Where are you headed?
Yeah.
Lawatone to pick up some money, and then it's a boat ride to Vatane. Or Zolvane, then Vatane, but yeah.
Zolvane, huh? Alright. It's quite the journey. And quite close to Garlat.
Yeah, we're gonna try to give it a wide berth. And that's another thing we kind of wanted to talk to you about.
Oh?
I told them. She kind of just gestures to the group.
I see.
They agree that it was bullshit.
Well, I should
Like
fucking
it's a
hope-
bag of dicks.
Yes, yes he is. Thank you, oh young one.
You're welcome. I don't think we've been formally introduced. Hi, I'm Rosa Sullen.
Hi, Seraphina Shadowgrasp.
You're the explosion lady.
Yes, I make things go boom. It costs a lot of money.
So I heard. Panara seemed equally impressed by you and stressed, actually.
I'm half convinced that half of that is just her being friendly, but I honestly cannot tell with that woman. She can be very hard to read sometimes.
She seemed perfectly warm to me, but she is my grandma, so.
I don't know why, but you could just see Kai just say, sounds oddly familiar.
Eh.
And she looks at Cassandra and Rosa.
What?
I take it you have ideas on doing something about it?
They think it'd be a good idea to investigate the abandoned mine where it happened.
All right.
It's technically not in Garlad, so I'm not really breaking my rules of banishment.
But it is in the Galrion domain. And that could cause troubles if you get too close. Tell you what, one minute, she, sort of holds up a couple fingers, looks in for a second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2 minutes, give me 2 minutes, and she goes darting out of the room.
1, 2, 3.
Rosa, shut up.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah, trust me, the last person who did that didn't end very well.
About 78 seconds later, Seraphina comes sort of scrambling back in. Okay. There's not a lot I can do for you from here, unfortunately, but it might be prudent of you to find a way of disguising yourselves if you're going to be passing through that area, just to throw people off, because she points at everyone except for, Cassandra, Aeon, and Tiermouth. The rest of you aren't a known quantity in Garlat, so they won't have any reason to just lock you in shackles for being around them. For you three, Tiermouth is a dragon, just go up sky high, just out of view. Other two of you probably find some way of disguising yourselves. An illusion spell could probably cover that pretty well. Alternatively, and she holds out something that she brought with her, which appears to be like a sort of a box that when you take it, it's like and you flip it open, it's basically just a large makeup box. You could use this to alter things like skin tone, hair color, things like that.
Is this makeup?
Yeah?
You'd look great in makeup. We could have a session.
Well, no. This isn't just like eyeliner or blush. This is like full. This is like the sort of makeup you would use on a play set to make yourself suddenly look like something you are not.
I'm still gonna get you in that dress one day.
It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, so this is a leftover box from last year's school play, but it should still be perfectly functional. So if you can think of a good way to use this to disguise yourselves, it might go a long way. Or again, if you can get good enough with illusions, that might cover some ground too.
Looks to Aeon.
Yes?
I say, you've been practicing your illusions. Maybe by the time we go there, you can just poof us as something else.
Yes, you made the mice Nogwin.
But you said it was horrible.
I said what you made was horrible. I didn't say how you made it was horrible.
Shadowgrass seems to have an aversion to high Snugwins. It is really weird.
I
Who can imagine why?
try.
You can just see, like, at the mention of Nice Nago and Seraphina also gets a little...
But could I practice on you, Cassandra?
Sure.
Okay.
You've practiced on me before?
You can also practice on me if you want some practice.
What happens if I turn you green?
Why don't you stop at trying to, I don't know, give me proper Mithra cat ears.
But should be green. But should be green with envy.
I can make green work. I'm a green mage.
Should I try now?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Turn my so you say adorable little pointed elf ears into proper Mithra ears.
Do I have to roll anything for illusion? I don't even remember.
For this, generally speaking, it does say that illusion can't be used to flawlessly alter someone's appearance.
Yeah, okay.
But in this particular case, I'll say that to give Rosa something small, so long, of course, as you stay close, like, cat ears, it would be a performance check to make it convincing.
Okay.
And also, Kai might have said, "Now you admit it."
I never said that they're adorable cat ears. I just repeating what Aeon supposedly thinks they are, and that is Aeon's opinion. He's perfectly entitled to his opinion.
I put performance in. I'm surprised I did. I forgot I did that.
Wait, what?
I did put something in performance for some reason.
Because
did?
Moogle.
I did. I forgot I did. I put a 4 in there.
You put
Damn.
4 in for performance?
But yes, I did. It says perform 4. Apparently, I put in performance.
Well, I think you
guess
did it because
more
of
for
illusion.
Distractions? I
yeah,
guess?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, either way, so with that performance roll of 11, it's definitely like if you you won't kind of know what to look for. It's clearly an illusion because you're all like you know it is. But you can imagine that if someone were just walking by and wasn't thinking about it too much, there's a pretty decent chance that they might not notice. It would not at all hold up under scrutiny, but it's a good start at least.
All
Another
good, Mithra. Nothing to see here.
Another option, if you can learn how to cast the invisibility spell, that could help too.
Invisibility.
It's a time magic spell.
That's an intermediate.
I have to learn more. I have to beat up people.
We don't get
Yeah.
intermediate spells until 4. Which is our next level, I think.
Yeah, we're level 3 at the moment, I believe.
Yep.
Regardless, something to think about. Point is, you're just gonna need some way to take eyes off of you as you're passing through. There's
True.
not really a whole lot I can do for you from here, but lending you this disguise kit, maybe that can help.
Would sound to be useful. I mean, I may be very stealthy, but you could still see me if you got a good eye.
Well, yeah, you're the biggest one here without Fluffy.
I'm gonna try doing invisibility. I'm gonna do my best every day to learn it.
Hey, I can teach you. I do magic. I do magic things. I can teach magic.
You're not a time mage.
But I know the theory and all the books because books are the source of all knowledge, and knowledge is amazing because books.
How
One
Rosa
step at a
teaches
time, everyone.
Pretend I
We
don't
get
see
there.
it.
Pretend I don't see you.
Anyways, so with all of that, all right. Well, is there anything else you can? Anything else you need?
At that, Cassandra just goes over and just glumps her in a hug.
I
Yep.
join her.
Yep, hugs. Tyr comes in and coils around the whole group hug. You kids take care of yourselves, all right?
We're gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too.
It was nice seeing you again. I know you're really busy around here, but Mom would like to see you too.
I would go and see her as soon as I could right now, but, well, with Panara gone, I do have a lot of responsibilities I need to tend to. But as soon as Panara's back, you have my word, I'll go and see your mom.
Just kind of nuzzles up against her. Just
You
really
learned
nice
that from
to meet you.
Tyr, didn't you?
she's like, "Hush, I haven't seen you in a while, and I miss you."
Don't worry. We'll keep an eye on Cassie for you.
You
Again,
better.
turns immediately to glare and then glares up to Seraphina. I'm going to get you back for this.
One day, maybe, but you're gonna have to earn the strength to make that happen. Kind of pokes you long and hard on the nose, sort of pushing the cartilage in a bit.
Mm.
All right, go kick some ass.
Will do. Try not to drown in paperwork.
Too late. And she looks back to the stack of papers in front of her. Oh god, all of this is just shit I have to memorize. Student rosters.
Sounds delightful.
It's not.
Hey, you finished the black magic curriculum faster than anyone in history. You can do this.
Oh, I can. That doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. You gotta move on. I need to get a start on this.
Yeah, you can hear
Okay.
Kai saying, "Yeah, come on, Cassie."
It just urge to. She just gets this urge to just want to kick you.
Urge to kick potato rising.
Potato ball. Tater ball.
And she is going.
Why do I feel like she would not appreciate being called that?
Is that what you call
I'm
a
a
baby?
tater tot elf.
Rosa, is that what you call a baby Tarfel? Just freaking a tater tot.
I think you would call that a
Get it?
patata.
Oh my god.
My
Hola,
God.
patata. Sweet potato.
Oh my god.
Sweet
Okay, we're leaving.
potatoes.
All right. So, is there anything else you wish to do while you are in the Academy City?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well then, to the stables to pick
Let's
up
go.
Fluffy.
Yep, let's go get our chocobo.
All right.
Hi, Fluffy. You been a good girl?
You sort of say, call that out as you make your way into the stables. You see Fluffy chomping down on a mound of geisha greens. Looks up. Sort of bounds over to start nuzzling up to you.
My grandma Panara, she's awesome and scary cool.
Just kind of sniffing at you because you smell funny now.
I know, I've got a new outfit. Do you like?
Starts pecking at your sleeves.
Stop it. It's me, girl. Just get sent. See?
Just keep sniffing at it.
I don't think she approves.
Well, she'll approve when I give her this. Here, bribery, Geisha pickle. See? Nothing Geisha pickles cannot fix. Isn't that right, girl? And I know you're squish bud as well. Okay.
Starts kicking the floor.
I think she's raring to go.
I think so too. Pretty getting stuck crazy in this thing. Ready for more adventures? We're gonna go see Grandma Nee. I think that's approval. Let's go, adventures!
Get her. Let's get her hooked up and
Adventures.
I
let's
love
get.
Fluffy so much.
I love doing the noises for Fluffy. It's great.
Yes, you do it
Fluffy's-
so perfect. I
It's
love it.
adorable.
Yep.
She is best bird.
Well, let's just hope she never gets ambrosiaed.
I mean, Brodie survived.
Oh, I know. Still.
Hey. No piece of rubble to Fluffy's face, please.
999. No harm must come to the Fluffy. Rosa would be sad.
I will give Fluffy protective hugs, and probably Fluffy will be protecting me. 'cause
All right,
Fluffy is
so
very
you all
good.
hop into the back of the wagon. 1 second.
Take it
Take
with
the
a
pill.
The pill.
He's learned to
You are
use himself.
correct. That is what I was doing.
Can you just have all you want?
Here.
Oh, you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
no,
learned to
what
start
to do.
muting when that comes up. Anyway. So, all right.
No.
Yes. Now then. So. All right. So you all pile up into the back of the wagon. Say for Rosa, you take the front seat. As always, you take up the reins, sort of take a long, deep breath. Just sort of taking a brief second as everyone's getting situated to reflect on the last few days and the developments that have occurred and your new objective. You've just kind of been aimless all this time, just kind of going from one thing to the next, but now you have a concrete list of objectives you need to carry out. It's about time you got to them. Give the reins a little crack, and Fluffy sets off at a brisk pace. Back out into the open streets and then back towards the southern wall. It opens up as you're approaching. Fluffy hesitates only for a moment before shaking herself and stepping into that darkened space at your reassurance. It seals up behind. There's the sensation of shifting before the wall before you opens up again. And before you, you see the pathway heading back down the mountainside, being accosted by snow flurries and chilling winds. And you are back out into the open world.
Bye, Mr. Face. Thank you.
I don't think it's gonna say anything.
It knows. It knows how you feel.
Goodbye, weird city of mages.
Okay, I was about to say it's not weird, but it absolutely is weird, but that just means it's cooler. Because magic is awesome.
Well,
Also, bet you're loving those sleeves now, huh?
Oh, it's so warm.
Good.
all right.
By the way, Tyr,
Yo.
while I was in the room working on Rosa's gear, I did make a little something with what I had left over.
Really? What?
As she reaches behind, she pulls out a little sizable, pillow-like bed, I guess.
A what?
You made Tyr a pillow?
Somewhat like a pillow-like bed of such.
Dog bed.
Just a cushion?
Yeah.
You
It's like
made
one of
it-
those dog beds you get where it's all nice, big and puffy and soft.
How the hell did you make this?
She robbed someone.
No. There was plenty of materials left over, and they were happy for me to use it. With a few, curly stuff they known as, wool.
Yeah, some
Very
of that
soft.
Some of that wool and stuffing and stuff is on the inside of these sleeves for the insulation while we're out in the cold.
Wait!
They're-
He
they
suddenly
give us a lot.
he suddenly slaps his paws down against the floor and looks up at you, his tail going straight up. Did the wool come from sheep?
Yep. Well,
Yes! And he just snatches the pillow and just wraps himself around it.
I glad you liked it.
I feel like I missed something.
Cassandra literally just face bombs. What are you?
I got the sheep! Ha!
I am so confused.
And he just rubs his
Me
face into the pillow.
too.
I got the sheep.
Don't ask, please. Don't
What's with the sheep?
don't ask.
He lifts his head from the pillow. I wanted to nap on a sheep, and Cassandra stopped me.
Virgil, how can you do this? Be so mean.
It
Sheep are
was
so fluffy and comfortable.
fluffy! It was fluffy! Like this pillow and that bird.
That bird.
Fluffy is the fluffy. That's
Like as
funny.
Fluffy is walking, she just kind of heard her name 3 times and just looks around to look at Tyr.
It's fluffy like this pillow, that bird.
Yep.
Do not use her name in vain. She hears everything.
I'm glad you liked it. I thought the floor might be a little bit uncomfortable.
Everyone's making joke about noises back here.
Cassandra is just going to just lay back and is like, you know what? Have the pillow. I'm going to just.
To be fair, it did look a little bit uncomfortable down there, so I thought, why not cushion it, the floor?
Yeah, works for me.
And just Tyr just now has a freaking bed.
Yep.
Great.
All right. So, with that,
His
you
own
begin.
very own bed.
You begin the journey down the road, heading south. The next leg of your journey planned out, and your objectives set, ready to go. And it is upon that note that I think we'll call it.
Nope.
That whole bit with all that character development does mean that I didn't get to bring you guys to the combat encounter I had planned. That'll have to be
Again.
next time.
Again,
This time you
I
didn't
knew that.
skip it, you just didn't get to it.
I know what's coming.
hey, you always say that you want character development, and you want.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Okay, so there
complaining.
you go.
I'm not complaining. It's throwing off my pacing a bit is all.
We haven't had a combat encounter outside of the spar match between Cassandra and Panara in 7 sessions.
We haven't had a combat encounter or combat at all probably since the fight with the mage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Free Birds, also freed of combat for a few sessions.
You just skipped
What
the
is-
zombies.
What is
Dungeon-
combat?
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. We don't have dungeons, but we do have a dragon. He's baby dragon. He has a sheep pillow.
Screw him. Screw fighting. We got emotions.
I love it.
No,
now.
no,
It's more like a visual novel than an RPG at this point.
Macy, we don't need things to do damage to us. We do damage to ourselves.
Well, RPG is role-playing game. A role-playing game, not a fighting game.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, but RPGs also have a lot of, like, stat optimizations that go into them. But regardless, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning into this session of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. It was a lot of fun. Some good character development happened. We will see you next time. Until then, keep listening, people. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
And have a nice time.
Goodbye.
And we're done.
Goodbye.